degrees, nothing more than a pop thunderstorm Wednesday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for HVAC services, aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Yeah, it sounds like the Americans got two major agenda items crossed off during this meeting in Switzerland overnight. The big headline here, Iran, according to Vice President Vance, has agreed to allow inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency back into their country. This is huge, and it's very important as it relates to the detailed discussions on Iran's nuclear program, so that these inspectors can get a list of what the Iranians still have and what the Americans want them to get rid of. The second headline here, that Special Envoy Kushner was able to work out a deal with the Qataris that some of these unfrozen Iranian funds are actually going to be used to purchase American farm products and then feed the people of Iran.
So there you have Trey Yanks this morning reporting on the latest in the negotiations taking place in Switzerland to bring peace to the Middle East. And by that, basically, I think we could summarize it by saying that Donald Trump and the Trump administration have sufficiently forced Iran into no other option than whatever we have to offer as a peace deal. I do think there's an element of this negotiation that looks frustrating from the outside looking in. And this is just speculation on my part. We have Fred Fleitz coming up in 13 minutes from right now. He is the vice chair of the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security. I do feel like some of this sausage making, if you will, is frustrating for folks like you and me to observe, because I think that the president and the people going through these negotiations with Iran, or whomever is in that room on behalf of Iran, I think that they're trying to put together something where the new, I don't want to say order of the world, the new
world order.
Let me see here. Rewind the tape. Let's just dump that. Pretend I didn't say it. The new order of business in the Middle East will be one that is managed and pressured by the people in the Middle East, and not us in the West having to babysit things all the time. Now, naturally, we will have our eyes on the situation from the skies, as Donald Trump will always remind you. We can look at the front of we can see the handle on a door from space. He will tell you that we're watching, always watching. And I think you need to have the people who are, ballistic missiles range from Iran, that those are the people who need to be heavily leaning into pressuring Iran to do the right thing. So I feel like when we sit here in our comfortable St. Louis, Missouri radio station studios, and we're like, just get straight open and take care of business, we want that. Why? Because of gas prices, which, by the way, are down $1 at this point. $3.84 at the one right across the bridge. What is the difference, Ryan, between the one I'm willing to go to and the one that's 2-3 blocks deeper into North City that you go to?
Very little at this point.
You still doing it?
I dabble. I look and I see, but a lot of times it's the same anymore, so I don't venture.
I would say that a lot of people in my family feel like I'm dabbling at the one I'm going to.
Okay.
But it's $3.84, I think, right there off the Stan Musial Bridge coming in on Tucker. We want gas prices down, so we're like, get the stinking straight open and just do it. Flex your muscles. Go in there and get it and make it happen. We're America. It's what we do. Except for the fact that there are countries there that I'm reflecting back on the other conflicts that I've lived through. September 11th. Can you believe it's 25 years this year?
No.
Is that wild or what? Do you think that's a quarter of a century ago? Let's see. Pearl Harbor happened in 41? Is that right?
I don't know the answer.
41? 2? Brad says 42. So If you think about 42, that when I was born in 84, 40 years earlier, I mean, that's something that people who, like our grandparents, absolutely, A, remembered it, B, had to go to war because of it. My grandpa served as an officer in the Army, and, like he wrote a book that includes that as a memory, the way we would have, if we're writing a book about our life, that we would talk about September 11th. I mean, of something that is history books material for us was real life experience for them. In many cases, specifically in my lifetime, watching Middle Eastern conflicts unfold, I hear a lot of Americans saying, like, can't we just let them take care of their own business? Why do we need to be over there? Why do our boots need to be on their ground? What are we getting out of this? And we've seen different missions that take place overseas, and there's a lot of Americans who are just sick and tired of being involved in that. And you want them to police themselves. And it feels like, and again, I'm speculating, and Fred Fleitz will tell us in about 10 minutes from right now his thoughts on this, that the reason this isn't just so turnkey, like just do the American thing and take it and make it. Just do it. Is because the actual long-term solution to this isn't just America enforcing, imposing, and executing their will. That was done in full red, white, and blue mighty force when we took out their entire nuclear operation. That was the American signature, fly the screeching bald eagle over Iran because we did it. This part is the more difficult, messy, sausage-making part, where if you want to have this be a long-lasting thing, you have to make sure that the countries that are there in the region collectively come together and say, Iran, you're gonna behave yourself, and we're right here, and we're gonna work with America to make sure that happens. So I feel like that's just not as easy to do. Maybe, I don't know, maybe impossible to do, but President Trump seems to be willing to try to achieve the impossible. Secretary of State Marco Rubio now he's not moving. He's relocating for the moment to Switzerland to be a part of these negotiations to try to move this in a direction that, if you heard Trey Yingst reporting at the beginning of this segment, saying that there's some positive movement. So I'm going to read to you the latest from Fox News. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent posted on X, under President Trump and Vice President, we continue to make world safer and more prosperous in line with the ongoing productive talks in Switzerland. Iran has committed to free and open transit in the Strait of Hormuz and to permit International Atomic Energy Agency, that's the IAEA, inspectors into the country. As part of the framework, Treasury has issued a temporary 60-day general license authorizing the production, delivery, and sale of Iranian oil. So Iran gets to, for a hop, skip, and a jump here, begin the production, delivery, and sale of their oil. That freaks some people out. They don't want to see that happen. I just don't think that I don't know. We'll ask Fred Fleitz. I don't know that the success of this operation ends in a completely decrepit and irrecoverable Iran. That the idea that they're going to sell oil again, there are very innocent Iranian civilians who are going to need to have to rebuild their country. It just needs to be rebuilt by the right people, not the IRGC, not the religious zealots that have 40,000 Iranian civilians that their own government killed.
Have been killed, yeah.
Because they were like, we'd like to be free. And they're like, you're dead. And then that's that. So that's not tenable. We're going to see the United States, apparently, if you listen to Besson here, saying we're going to give a little to get everything we want. And I think that it's very easy to sit on the sidelines and say that we've lost. Because you have a predetermination that you want these people to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your goal is to try to criticize or denigrate President Trump or his people or another country that's involved in this conflict, if that's the end goal for you, you can cherry pick information all day, every single day that can kind of fit that narrative. But this is not a day-by-day situation. There's a huge, huge long game that is being played here, that the people who are making these negotiations, who are having these conversations, there's going to have to be a little bit of goodwill, even if it's a sparkle in the eye, that the people on the other side of the negotiation table have to see to say, all right, let's just do this. And I don't think that you have to trust Iran to come show up and be like, can we be friends? You know, like they're swapping Taylor Swift friendship bracelets at the negotiation table in Switzerland. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I hope it doesn't. Have we tried Taylor Swift? Maybe she could write them a song.
If she's willing, yeah.
Just hypothetically speaking, obviously this isn't happening. Don't sue me. If she was like, could she monetize trying to negotiate peace between Iran and the world? I think she probably could.
She can monetize anything, yes.
She can do anything. Man, I've been very, very open on this show talking about how exhausting the back and forth is, because we're not going to show up one day and they're going to say, we did it. We've got the photo. We're shaking hands. There's peace. Nobody is going to see that photo and go, I bet you there's still peace tomorrow. Nobody's going to think that. Like I said, long game. And I just don't think that Americans, and mostly anybody in a first world country where you have technology and access to information the way we do, nobody plays the long game. The game is so not long, it's second by second. Forget day by day.
I would add one thing, and that's that the people that are criticizing this being, oh, we're just returning back to where we were before this war started. That just isn't true. If anything, there's a lot of other things within Iran, but if anything, Iran has isolated itself long-term more than ever by attacking all the nations around it. And so it's more isolated now than it was before this war, and the Middle East is more willing to work together to maintain Iran than they were before, ever.
And if the alternative, somebody, I don't know if we have this clip on here, Kamala Harris about hope. Is that clip 19? Getting rid of the electoral? No. Wait. Yes, number 20. God, I hope we don't have time for that clip. I might not be able to help myself.
I know this clip.
Oh. You've got Donald Trump trying to negotiate Middle East denuclearization that leads to potential world peace, and everyone's yelling at him, and he's like, everybody calm down. The art of the deal has arrived. And Kamala Harris can't even describe what hope means. Boy, do we dodge a bullet.
It's amazing.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. We are grateful and not worthy. Fred Fleitz will be with us when we come back, Vice Chair for the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security, to get his reaction to this moment on these Switzerland negotiations between Iran and the United States, and let's be honest, pretty much most of the rest of the world. The YouTube poll for today. We're going to get into this throughout the course of the show. Do you support President Trump's restoration and beautification efforts in Washington, D.C.? Yes or no? 314-241-9797. Back in a minute. AirComfortService.com, 314-513-0091. The weather is going to get warmer and warmer. I say that right now. I think it's kind of nice outside. But it's going to get hot. It's the middle of June. July, August set in, and that hot temperature makes its way into your office, and your employees are not comfortable. Customers aren't comfortable. You got to get it fixed, and you got to get it fixed fast. Who do you call? I want to recommend Air Comfort Service for you. Now, they've fixed a whole host of things in my home residentially, but they are wonderfully renowned for their work commercially as well. If you have an issue with your comfort zone, with your compressor, if it's a heat exchanger, whatever it might be, any time of the year, you can call Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation and get a free second opinion on those repairs. They've been providing residential and commercial heating and cooling services for almost 60 years. You could be next. You'll be in the best of hands. 314-513-0091. Online right now at aircomfortservice.com.
Gentlemen, Mark Cox here. When's the last time you actually felt like yourself? Victory Men's Health specializes in hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, and longevity. It's built for everyday men who just want to feel better and perform their best. They already have offices in Town and Country, Sunset Hills, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. They're about to open a new location in Glen Carbon very soon. It's a higher standard of care just waiting for you. Learn more at victorymenshealth.com.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
What we told the Iranians yesterday is when you guys engage in what us millennials might call trash talk, you can't expect the President of the United States not to respond and not to correct the record. So when they say things that aren't true, the President is going to respond to it. I'm going to respond to it. Americans are going to respond to it. When they make threats that aren't rooted in reality, they have to accept that the President of the United States is actually going to set the record straight. That's all that happened. So yes, there was a little bit of threatening, there was a little bit of whining, but at the end of the day, the talks continued and we made great progress.
J.D. Vance in Switzerland, the Vice President of the United States, saying, hey, if you're going to trash talk Donald Trump, he's going to trash talk you right back. We got bigger bombs. It kind of feels like what he's saying there. I do find it interesting that he reflects on the idea of the words trash talk as a millennial phrase. I had not known that that belonged to our generation.
Quote unquote trash talking.
As the old people say. Let's get to Fred Fleitz, Vice Chair, America First Policy Institute Center for American Security, former NSC Chief of Staff, CIA analyst, and House of Intelligence Committee staff member. Also, author of the book, An America First Approach to U.S. National Security. Fred, thank you for being with us here today. It's a pleasure to have you back with us.
Hey, Annie, good to be here.
Thank you so much. I want to, before I get into the details of questions that I have based on some of the clips we've played today, some of what we've heard from J.D. Vance and Trey Yingst and all those folks. What are your thoughts on where we are on this timeline with Iran, now in Switzerland, the Memorandum of Understanding? That was the whole topic du jour last week. We finally get it. And then it seemed like it wasn't going to stick over the weekend, but now we're in Switzerland having talks. Where do you feel we are right now in this moment?
Well, the MOU is controversial for obvious reasons. It's not a perfect plan, but it's a necessary plan for the president to fulfill his promise that this wouldn't be an endless war or a quagmire. He's accomplished his objectives of destroying Iran's nuclear program, greatly undermining its military, and he has to get out. But look, negotiating with the Iranian government is difficult. The government's broken. It's dishonest. It keeps backtracking on what it wants to agree to. And then we have these demands that it's all Israel's fault. There's not a deal because it keeps attacking Lebanon. Well, why was Israel attacking Lebanon? Because Hezbollah, the Iranian terrorist proxy in Lebanon, was attacking Israel. So Trump over the weekend said that if Iran doesn't rein in its Hezbollah proxy, the war will resume. And guess what? There's been a freeze in military attacks by each side over the last 24 hours. That allowed this agreement to move forward. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't know whether the Iranian government will honor this, but I think J.D. Vance made some real progress over the last 24 hours.
Fred Fleitz speaking with us right now with the America First Policy Institute. So I have a couple questions lined up here. One was one I was going to ask, and one of our listeners sent it in as well, Dirk, and he said, who are we talking to with Iran? Like, how do we even know? Has Iran decided, okay, we collectively agree that these are going to be the people in charge to help make the next decisions?
Well, the president of the Iranian parliament and the Iranian foreign minister are in Switzerland. They're engaged in the negotiations. We have been hearing claims by the Iranian government that there are various edicts and statements by the Iranian supreme leader, who no one has seen since he succeeded his father. Does he actually exist? Is he dead? Is he a figurehead? No one knows. Maybe he's hiding in a hole somewhere because he's worried that we will blow up, which could actually happen. But it's a real question, who is running the country? And even if any of these officials are running the country, the Revolutionary Guard seems to have a veto on whatever they decide. So it's really a broken regime.
So here's something I read about the memorandum of understanding, and it was kind of, suggested there's a lot of room for that MOU to be interpreted one way or another, a lot of room for Iran to get things that people who are reading it and criticizing it here in America weren't happy about. There was a suggestion that maybe the amount of time that is provided right now for Iran to get their act together, that there is dissent within Iran on who's calling the shots. And if that's left to fester within Iran, that some of that might end up taking care of itself without the United States having to come in to, try to pick and choose who the next people are that they're going to be talking to, that there has been enough confusion in Iran as to who's calling the shots, that the intra-fighting taking place in that country, that they need to sort some of that stuff out before we could even potentially actually negotiate some sort of deal. Do you feel like that is happening or has been happening in Iran? And if it has been, are we getting towards the end of it where maybe they've made that decision?
I think there's dissension and disagreement within the Iranian government. I think there's been a lot of infighting. For now, we have to negotiate with who seems to be in control. I think regime change is coming to this country one day. The Iranian people will never forget what their leadership did when they executed at least 40,000 innocent civilians protesting for freedom early this year. And they know why the internet was cut off, because the Iranian government didn't want them to know that their incompetent military and the billions that they waste on nuclear weapons had brought on this incredible series of attacks by the U.S. and Israel. So there's open questions who we're negotiating with, and whether whatever these leaders agree to will be honored.
We're speaking with Fred Fleitz here on the Annie Frey Show. So we have had Vice President J.D. Vance there to negotiate. My understanding is that Secretary of State Marco Rubio is headed out there as well. Does that signal anything in your mind that now Rubio is joining this group? Does it mean it's getting closer, or it needs salvaging, or what does that mean to you?
I think I heard that Rubio is going to the Middle East. I don't know if he's going to Switzerland for these talks. And I don't know that these talks are finished. There weren't any today. It could be that Rubio and Vance will go to the Middle East, maybe to meet with officials in Qatar or the UAE. But I'm glad to see Rubio is joining Vance. He's such a capable diplomat. I think they make a good team.
Yeah, you're correct. He's headed to the Middle East to address the Iran MOU in the Strait of Hormuz. That's according to Al Jazeera. But so let me ask you this question. We're speaking with Fred Fleitz, Vice Chair for the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security. It seems to me J.D. Vance has always been kind of a let's not get into new wars type of person. He seems to have been, which is interesting. I respect his position on it because he has served. He's a Marine, I believe. Isn't he a Marine? Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
So he understands what is asked of these men and women when they are sent by their commander-in-chief to take on a mission. Marco Rubio is incredibly diplomatic. He's incredibly strong. He knows wherever he is, he knows everything he needs to know about the foundational facts of that situation and circumstance. What kind of presentation is America on the world stage providing when they send J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio, as well as maybe the Kushner and the Witkoff, in to organize and negotiate these deals?
Well, I think we're projecting President Trump's America First approach to U.S. national security to address these dire threats to our freedom and security, but also to keep us out of unending wars. This is going to be a short-term commitment And now that we've accomplished our objectives, we're going to find a way out of it. But that doesn't mean we're simply going to walk away and give Iran everything at once or appease Iran. It's a difficult process to get this through. And I think we have capable leaders who are trying to negotiate a final settlement.
Is it normal in a situation like this? I don't know if anything about the situation is normal, but in a situation where you're trying to negotiate this kind of peace and you've got the likes of Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff at the helm there to help try to get these negotiations, Abraham Accords were very successful, and in the involvement there was with Kushner specifically was very successful. Is it normal to have individuals like them in the position they're in when they're not elected officials or somebody who's in the cabinet who's been approved by the Senate, that type of thing?
Well, normal. That's an interesting word.
Appropriate. How about that?
Does not play by the book. Typically, negotiations like this would be done for months by career diplomats, representatives of the deep state, many of whom simply won't cooperate with President Trump, and Trump doesn't trust them. Trump turned to his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, in the first term to negotiate the Abraham Accords because he trusts him. And I work with Jared Kushner, and I was very impressed by the wheeling and dealing he did on cell phones with foreign leaders. And he helped negotiate an agreement, not by himself, but he worked with other officials to get an incredibly good agreement through. And I'm glad that he's there. Steve Witkoff is someone who the president trusts implicitly. It's a different way of operating. Each president can run their foreign policy the way they want to. And as I said, is it normal? Well, no, it's not normal. This is Trumpian foreign policy, and he makes up his own rules. Appropriate,
Inappropriate? Anything wrong with choosing those individuals who the president trusts to participate in this way?
I mean, the president gets to choose his own team. He gets to run foreign policy the way that he wants. He ran things a certain way in the first term. Remember, he let go national security advisors and a Secretary of State and a Secretary of Defense because they weren't carrying out his policies. This administration is much more stable. There's people there who are capable and reflect what the president wants them to do. I mean, I think the president has had enough of senior officials who come in with their own agenda, determined not to do what the president tells them to do. President Trump won the election, not these various officials who hold senior positions.
I would like to ask you one last question on a bit of a different topic, but given your background as a former NSC Chief of Staff, CIA analyst, and House of Intelligence Committee staff member, the FISA standstill right now, the negotiations to get it passed once again, could you just give us a real brief precursor as to what's at stake right now and your position on what needs to be done next?
Well, the FISA law provides important information gleaned from intercepted communications. And, I mean, there are concerns that this data could be used to collect information against American citizens who may be in communication with foreigners abroad. But, I mean, I've used this material as an intelligence officer. It's very important. But there's a holdup right now because the Democrats objected to Bill Pulte as the acting DNI, and then the president nominated someone else, and they're still objecting and won't agree to let the FISA provisions go through. I think that's unfortunate because we've stopped a lot of terrorist attacks using FISA information, but there's also opposition to FISA because it has been abused. I think there have to be safeguards to make sure it is not used to spy on the American people, that it's not used to spy on presidential campaigns, and it has been used to spy on President Trump. So he's found a way through this where he can support this and also protect the privacy rights of Americans, but the Democrats would rather play political games.
Well, we will watch and see what happens there, of course, in Iran. And Fred Fleitz, we thank you for your time. We hope you'll come back with us as these stories progress. It's great to have you with us.
Good to be here.
Take care. Bye-bye. Vice Chair of the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security, and as I mentioned, quite a few accolades in on his resume, former NSC Chief of Staff, CIA analyst, and House of Intelligence Committee staff member. His book, which you can read if you want to learn more from the deep well of information that he is able to provide due to his background, An American First Approach to U.S. National Security. Fred Fleitz. We'll break right now. When we come back, let's step into this story a little bit on the YouTube live chat poll. Do you support President Trump's restoration and beautification efforts in D.C.? Yes or no? You go to youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. And a reminder, if you turn the notifications on for our YouTube channel, when the live broadcast begins, you'll get a notification. You can go to the live chat and vote in the poll right there. And then, of course, join us on the radio, on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, and spend some time with us there. You can text us as well on your thoughts on the restoration and beautification efforts in D.C. at 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797 for the Annie Frey Show text line. We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. That water, that rain was coming down like crazy this weekend. I got caught in it at a baseball tournament. Now, I was, thinking about my wet jacket and my wet lawn chair that I unfortunately left in my car last night, and boy, did that stink this morning. Is that the deal you got going on in your basement, though? When it rains and it pours and all you can think about is, gosh, the basement, it's taking on water again. Maybe you've never noticed it before, and for the first time recently, you realize there's some moisture down here. And it might be making its way in because of the rain. You need to make a phone call, and you need to make it fast before the problem gets way out of hand. And by that, I mean more expensive. 314-271-9900, 314-271-9900. Home Shield Foundation Repair is waiting to take your phone call. Matt Hayes owns Home Shield Foundation Repair. It's his business, his expertise, his incredible staff, and his family that puts it into practice. All you got to do is reach out to them to get a free estimate on your basement water situation. 314-271-9900, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Hurt in a motorcycle accident? You need someone who knows St. Louis, who's about St. Louis. You need Kaufman Townsley, your hometown injury lawyers. We're here for real people with real results. Kaufman Townsley, St. Louis Injury Lawyers. Call 314-777-7777.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Our YouTube live chat poll question that we're asking you to weigh in on today is, do you support President Trump's restoration and beautification efforts in Washington, D.C.? Yes or no? Here's a comment from our YouTube live stream, which is where you can vote on this poll. It's from Judah. It says, yes, absolutely. I mean, I just do not understand who would not. Seriously, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, we could just save that. I'm just going to leave that comment for every day.
So that is also a question you could respond to on the YouTube live chat or by texting in 314-241-9797. It is 12:37. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Happy birthday, America, in 2026. Get used to hearing the word semi-quincentennial. America 250 on 97.1 FM Talk. Sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Ryan, I've never seen you move like that.
Well, that's because I'm getting older.
You're going to take my bologna sausage story and take it in an entirely different different direction. You have a cold?
I don't think so. I cough to say that. I don't think I do. I think I'm just hoarse. I don't feel like I have a cold. I just might.
You're going to start to whinny?
My voice is hoarse. Yeah, I am. Because I'm a little hoarse.
No, do it.
What? Oh, I can't. There it is a little bit.
He's a dying horse.
Turn me into glue.
How much are you following Reflecting Poolgate?
A little bit. It's kind of fun.
What's fun about it? Bring us up to speed.
It's just such a normal thing to be happening in the world that it's not important at all. But if you hate Trump badly, you can take anything and make it about him.
I don't like the way that the reflecting pool wasn't just fixed and done. I don't.
Oh, you mean the ongoing nature of the story?
Yeah, the ongoing saga of now the paint is peeling up, but there are people there that are like trying to vandalize it at night so that it. I mean, I just think that if Donald Trump was the fascist that you say that he is, you wouldn't have to be focused on the reflecting pool paint to like prove your point.
Well, okay, so most stories that I don't care about, I just don't read.
Yeah.
But these I read because I don't care about them, and I want to know, what are they trying to gin up? What are they trying to make out of this? Because
they're just trying to make Trump look like a fool.
Yes.
And this is where Donald Trump risks getting himself in trouble. I don't think the man feels like he's in trouble.
Right.
But if he goes and does what he did to the reflecting pool, paints the whole bottom, which was a sealant that happened to be blue. He didn't drain it to paint it. He drained it to seal it because the thing apparently leaked a lot. So they go through the process of doing that, and then there was algae all in it, but the algae was from the pumps and the pipes apparently that had sat still for a while, so says the Trump supporters. Like, you can have a red-blue opinion on the green algae.
That's what's amazing. That is what is amazing about this story.
And I am one who's like, I don't care. I'm not worried about it. I am actually more entertained by the infatuation that people who hate Trump, like, of all of the things that you could stand on ceremony and be like, see, he's a failure. The reflecting pool? Really? And I don't even know that I don't know. Did the algae really come from the pumps? I know that that's what the Trump people. I don't care enough to investigate because I don't care. But that's what they say. And then I see posts that are like, leftist protesters dumping algae at 2 a.m. into the reflecting pool, blah, blah, blah. And then there's community notes on that's like, no, that didn't happen. So I don't know what's real, but the reflecting pool is apparently ground zero for the red-blue back and forth of those people who care. It's just that when I see the people on President Trump's side arguing, they're kind of giggling the whole time, and the left is crying and getting arrested. So
thank you.
I'm just like, if you were to happen upon D.C., because maybe you were in town for a World Cup, and you were like, well, let's go see the nation capital on our road trip from point A to point B, and you saw these two people standing, one on the right side of the reflecting pool and one on the left side of the reflecting pool, and they were fighting with each other, I feel like one side would look way more fun.
I also kind of like this controversy because if you're going to be somebody who's going to protest no matter what, go protest the reflecting pool at the Washington Monument. It's better than if you were out burning down Teslas.
Maybe it's a trap.
It's a 3D chess move.
Let's get them all to D.C.
Yeah.
It's a big wide open area. We'll put them around a huge pond. We'll summon them. And they'll all come around, they'll gather here, and they can fight over the pond. And that's a lot cheaper to fix than burning down Seattle.
Yes. You know how we've decreased crime so much here in D.C.? How about if we bring all these random criminals in and then we arrest them?
Consolidate them here. We'll clean the pool, and then 3 days later, we'll fill it with algae.
Yes. Yes.
I wonder why, again, I feel like the majority of what I say on the show is I don't know anything. But I don't know anything about pipes and plumbing. But they should have maybe flushed the pipes before the thing was drained. I mean, how long was it stopped?
Your ignorance really showing now.
Well, you would say that also every day. It's just a Monday. I'm not hurt. I'm not crying. I want the reflecting pool to look nice. I do have the recollection of being on my son's 8th grade class trip. So let's see, 25, 24. It would have been 24. That's right. It was May of 2024. And I had really good vibes about President Trump's chances for the first real time. Because everywhere in May of 2024, everywhere you could buy Trump merch. And it was May of 2024. He was not the president. He was running for president. And everybody, kids, wearing it all over the place. Trump bucket hats on all the cute boys on the class trips. So then the girls were like, I want a Trump hat. And so it was just spreading like wildfire, like algae in a reflecting pool. They were red. They weren't green. And I just felt pretty good about it. The mood was looking kind of light and a little bit just the way you want kids to be a little rebellious. It was like, yeah, I'm going to wear this Trump hat and I don't care who says anything about it. It's like the most rebellious thing you could do. I remember going to the Lincoln Memorial, which is maybe my most favorite place in Washington, D.C., and walking down to the reflecting pool afterwards and waiting there for everybody else to kind of get done doing the things that they were doing. Most of the kids wanted to buy ice cream from a vendor. It was very questionable. And I was standing there at the foot of the reflecting pool, and I thought to myself, gosh, you could just fall right into this thing. There's nothing stopping you from being in the reflecting pool, like Forrest Gump. Or Jenny. Jenny was the one who was in the pool in the movie, right?
Yes.
Isn't that how she runs into the pool and be like,
she runs across.
And I remember thinking, if I fell in that, I would probably vomit. I remember thinking about how gross and disgusting it was.
Wow.
From afar, it's a big body of water. I don't particularly remember a reflection in it. I wasn't there at night either, but I remember it being really gross. And I remember thinking, this is a little underwhelming. So I can imagine if it were beautiful and clean and filtered the way it's supposed to be, that would be impressionable. Not in a, I can't believe how clean this water is, because that clean water exists in a lot of other places at a lot of other memorials. Even in D.C., that the FDR memorial has tons of water in it. I remember looking at it and thinking, gross. And in all of the majesty that you're around in D.C., it kind of sucks to be at this thing that you get to say, I've been to the reflecting pool, and it was like, gross. So I was happy when it got fixed, and then it didn't. So I don't know. Where are you all at on this? Do you want to see President Trump continue to fight to beautify and restore Washington, D.C.? Because he cares deeply about it. And the first thing he did was crime. The first thing he did was say, Washington, D.C. is going to be a safe place for you to be. St. Louis, take note. Chicago, take note. Big cities around the country, take note. Follow the plan. And if you are cleaning your reflecting pool, just, clean the pipes first.
We think.
Maybe. We've heard. Any plumbers out there want to give us advice? 314-241-9797. I mean, what's the difference? A toilet pipe and a reflecting pool pipe, it's all the same. They're just pipes.
Tell you what, if you text in on the text line, I will be watching diligently for these. 314-241-9797.
Wiggins America, the Monday Roundup. Next, don't go away.
'26 is an election year, and 97.1 FM Talk will be your home for every twist and turn in the 2026 midterms. 97.1 FM Talk. Keep it here for radio coverage that's 25 years strong.
Corey, from Air Comfort Service? Why are you standing next to my AC?
I'm standing behind our work.
But it's 8 p.m. You're just going to stand behind my air conditioner?
Yeah, pretty much.
Could you turn off the sprinkler then?
Absolutely. At Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation, we take pride in our work. If you need a new air conditioner or HVAC system, you can trust we'll install the equipment correctly. Plus, for a limited time, qualify for rebates up to $2,600 and 0% financing for up to 72 months. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the
IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Data centers don't wait, and neither should your supply chain. From power and connectivity to racks and critical power, Graybar brings the products and the experience data centers need now. And with deep inventory and logistics expertise, we keep projects moving from first delivery to final install. With hundreds of locations and a nationwide delivery fleet, we help you bring facilities online, on time, and on budget. Yep, Graybar does that.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Wiggins! Oh! Monday Roundup! Yeah! This here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
You guys like baby giraffes? That's great. You're going to hear some great baby giraffe news.
What if I hate them?
Well, then you're going to feel the wrath of the audience because baby giraffes are
Is there
cute.
anything cuter than a knobby-kneed baby giraffe?
I don't know.
That's so cute. Yeah, my kids. I mean, if you're listening, you were the cutest.
mean-
Your knobby knees were cute too.
But they don't try to stand. It's so cute.
Oh yeah, they do.
Not right away.
No, not right away.
So 2 baby giraffes were found safe after vanishing from a Virginia zoo almost a year ago.
How would you vanish?
It's a mystery. It says
To you.
and to Yahoo. It
Okay.
says 2 baby giraffes who went missing from a Virginia zoo last year have been found safe. It's unclear both how they disappeared and the Office of the Attorney General of Virginia. Wasn't that the guy that we said, oh, he was like talking about murdering his opponents? Wasn't that guy?
He was running for Attorney General.
I think this is
he the
him.
Lieutenant General? What's his name?
It doesn't say. It just says his office. It doesn't say his name. But it says the Office of the Attorney General of Virginia located the giraffes, but would not share specifics.
And then he killed them.
Yeah, like,
No.
listen, no, wait, just hang on here.
Oh, no.
Would not share specifics about how or where they were found.
He held him for ransom.
The media's going, why won't you tell us anything? And
Yeah,
they're
this
like,
guy's
well,
crazy.
we're just letting you know that we found the baby giraffes.
That's all you need to
That's
know.
it.
Don't ask questions, if you know what I mean.
Now, he wasn't the Attorney General when the giraffes disappeared, but now they've found them. And they're going to return them, and they want everybody to just shut up and be happy about it.
Yeah, that's what most. Well, I'm just gonna say. I don't know. I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird, but I'm going to be following Baby Giraffe Gate for sure.
Jay Jones.
Jay Jones? Mm-hmm. That's him, right? That's the guy?
He's the Attorney
He's the
General.
Attorney General.
I can't confirm that he's the guy in your story, but he
Well,
is
it's his office.
He's the Virginia Attorney General. So.
All right, so as I read this next story, I want to ask you, who is making this a partisan event?
Okay.
Certain states are balking at the Great American State Fair.
Mm-hmm.
The
blue
Great
states.
American State Fair is going to kick off at the National Mall this week ahead of the country's 250th anniversary. But several states have publicly said they will not attend the event.
Yeah, they hate the country.
Would you like to know which states?
Illinois.
Illinois.
I know one because I asked if I could go on behalf of Illinois. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Send me.
Yeah. Illinois, Massachusetts,
Mm-hmm.
Washington,
Well known for their conservative policies.
Oregon,
Mm-hmm. Also.
Connecticut.
Mm.
And then one state that you go, oh, really them? North Carolina. But they're led by who? A Democrat governor.
Yeah.
Now, the Democrat governor in a swing state has said, well, there's going to be representation, but it's going to be from some big companies in North Carolina. We personally will not be attending.
So the Democrats are like, we'll send big companies in the place of government?
Yeah. They're like, big companies represent us now. So the fair's organizer, Freedom 250, said all 50 states and U.S. territories
when Rush
will be represented
Limbaugh
in some
said
way.
that he hoped Barack Obama failed? Do you remember that being a story?
Vaguely.
He said that he hoped Obama would fail. And then the left went, because they're like, you want him to fail? Don't you love America?
Mm-hmm.
And now these blue states are like, we're not going to your World State Fair because Donald Trump's a fascist and we can't support that.
And algae.
And they're worried about the algae.
I would do that voice, but I can't.
I would worry about that voice.
I'd worry about that voice.
Yeah, you
Oh, it's
should.
nice and deep today, though. I will
Yeah, I
say
know.
that.
Better
I'll
use
that.
it. Elevate the show.
Elevated.
Say in a world.
In a world.
Now say something about algae.
The Annie Frey Show has been elevated to Algae Commission.
You can make a Ford truck commercial.
See? I elevated the show while also denigrating you.
On the Annie Frey Show text line, 314-241-9797, send us scripts for Ryan to read in his In a World voice. 314-241-9797. It's got to be brief, though, because if it breaks apart,
Right.
he just starts to panic
Right.
and nothing
I
happens.
don't know what happens.
Then we have
'cause
dead air.
I got to look at all these different texts. Yes, I love that President Trump is working to beautify Washington.
Send us scripts for promos for the show that Ryan should read.
But I have to read them right now because my
314
voice might be back to normal tomorrow.
241-9797.
Last one here, or maybe one of the last two. It says, French police have stumbled upon a $13 million stolen and thought lost Picasso painting.
Did they ask Jay Jones about this?
No. Well, he did, but he wouldn't comment.
He was busy hiding giraffes.
He said, hang on.
You got it back. That should be enough.
That's enough. Yeah, you leave me alone. No, they were doing a drug raid in France, and they discovered this thought lost Picasso painting worth tens of millions of euros. French newspaper La Parisienne reported that it is one of a series of Picasso's portraits of Marie-Therese Walter, his mistress, produced in 1937.
Send us scripts to promote the Annie Frey Show for Ryan to read in French.
And look, I don't know if I said the name of that newspaper correctly.
Just gonna say,
but if you say it
Bonjour.
confidently,
Bonjour.
Yeah, you say La Parisienne, and it is not even spelled that way. You wouldn't know the difference, though.
No, you're just supposed to say it with confidence.
A 37-year-old man who worked as a guard at the Paris firm that stores valuable art was arrested after the discovery because they think, the guard might have been involved in this heist.
There's a Theo Von clip where he's talking to Ed Sheeran, who's from the UK or whatever, and Ed Sheeran's talking about how there's a ton of crime everywhere. Like, nice neighborhoods still have crime. And Theo Von, if you've never checked him out, then this may or may not be funny to you, but he's like, but in UK, your crimes are good because they all have clues. And every time I see that clip, I watch it and laugh out loud. If it's 2 a.m. and I can't sleep, and Theo Von says that, and Ed Sheeran's like, man, what? It's so good. I love Theo Von.
I've seen that clip.
It's so funny.
It's funny.
It's funny because Theo Von always acts like he's like a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Asking sincere questions. Steve Moore, Will Chamberlain next.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
CiviaLaw.com if you have an estate plan to have looked over, or especially if you don't have one established yet. Todd Civia of Civia Law is ready to take your phone call, and I'm encouraging you right now to write this number down or punch it into your phone, because the first 10 callers to reach out at this number and mention Annie get your first strategy session fee waived. You don't have to pay it. That's a $300 value. You just got to mention my name and get an appointment on the books, and that first meeting is free. There's nothing to lose here. So much peace of mind to gain. Here's the number, 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL. You need to establish your powers of attorney, get that trust up and running, answer the questions you didn't know you needed to ask and answer. Todd Civia knows all of them. So you go have that initial strategy session. He puts you on the path, and he can have a 2-week turnaround of completed documents from that initial sit-down appointment. Mention Annie when you call 833-995-WILL. Find him online right now at CiviaLaw.com.
Hi, Sandy. What's that? I'm reading up on this Amendment 4 on the August ballot. What's 4? Amendment 4 absurdly creates a new un-American minority veto power, but only for ballot issues that we citizens put on the ballot. Don't they say it'll protect conservative ideas? Truth gets in the way of their story. Amendment 4 would mean as few as 5% of the most liberal statewide voters in one congressional district could veto any good conservative idea or reform, even when a big majority supports it. That does sound un-American. How did that get on the ballot? The politicians put it there, and it would empower a small minority of liberals. They could stop funding for police, stop tax cuts, or any other common sense conservative policy we support. Only 5%? One district? That would make it nearly impossible to pass needed reforms or rein in politicians. Yep, Amendment 4 is a misguided power grab by politicians. I'm voting no on Amendment 4. Right. I'm not giving up my constitutional rights. It's a hard no on 4.
Paid for by Missourians for Fair Governance. KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Lisa Brady, Fox News.
This is laying a foundation for what could be a truly transformed Middle East. But we haven't built the house yet. We're going to have to keep on building, and that's what we'll do.
Vice President J.D. Vance a short time ago as he was leaving Switzerland after what he calls a productive 36 hours and lengthy talks with top Iranian officials who he says have agreed to let UN nuclear inspectors back into Iran.
Whether good faith or bad faith, you can't trust anybody's words. You have to trust what they actually do. Letting in the inspectors is a big deal, but again, we're going to see what they actually let the inspectors do once they're in the country. That's going to continually be a part of our negotiations.
President Trump posting earlier that everybody is fully aware Iran will agree to have major weapons inspections to ensure nuclear honesty long into the future. Vance says both sides have left teams in Switzerland to continue talks. Charlie Kirk's accused assassin back in a Utah court as a judge rules on several defense motions.
Tyler Robinson's attorneys were trying to block hearsay evidence from an upcoming preliminary hearing. Evidence that included pre-recorded testimony from Robinson's roommate and former lover, Lance Twiggs, that included a confession.
Accordingly, the defendant's motion is respectfully denied.
Judge Tony Groff also denying the defense motion to compel Twiggs to testify during the preliminary hearing for which no electronic devices will be allowed in court.
Fox's Jeff Benasso, the judge delaying a decision for now on whether prosecutors violated a gag order by talking to reporters and on taking the death penalty off the table. A federal judge just quashing grand jury subpoenas in a case involving the Minnesota governor and Minneapolis mayor, accused by the Justice Department of failing to aid or impeding immigration enforcement operations. Today's ruling says the department failed to identify a single plausible investigatory justification for the subpoenas. Governor Tim Walz has called the probe politically motivated. America is listening to Fox News.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask Chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale, kale, kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at Viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No thanks.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Thanks to our cool front of yesterday, the northwest flow is back. It's a little breezy. It's 78 for the high with a mix of clouds and sunshine, though the emphasis going on more and more sun. Nice evening, partly cloudy skies, 62 for the overnight low. Tuesday, sunny and nice, 81. Wednesday, sunny and 84 degrees. Nothing more than a pop thunderstorm Wednesday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 56 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance and installation, and heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Rain.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Our YouTube poll for today, go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel where we're broadcasting live and tell us if you support President Trump's restoration and beautification efforts in Washington, D.C., yes or no. I want to cite this tweet here, this post on X, I should say, before we get to our guest Steve Moore here in just a second. And it says, a right-wing wave of governments in South America. In June of 2023, 10 left-wing governments, 3 right-wing, and in June of 2026, they've had a swing of 4 move to the right-wing side. There's something conservative potentially taking over South America. What could that possibly be? And at the same time, we have a lot of polls and statistics showing that the Democrat Party here in the United States of America loves itself some socialism. This seems a little bit upside down. What's going on? Steve Moore probably has something to say about it, co-founder of the Committee for Prosperity, host of More Money, and author of The Trump Economic Miracle. Steve, happy Monday. Welcome back.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, too. Are you paying attention to what's going on in South America? Something's shifting down there, it looks like.
Oh, hi. I lost you there for a second. Can you hear me now?
Yep. Can you hear me okay, Steve?
Yeah,
yes.
Now I hear you loud. Yeah, no, like it's pretty amazing that you have Colombia just elected a pretty conservative, free market-oriented government with a businessman leading that party, just like we've got a businessman leading our country. And then you've got, obviously, what's happening in Argentina. Everybody's paying attention to Javier Milei, who is the ultimate free market libertarian who's just completely taking a bulldozer to big government and a chainsaw. And then you have other countries as well that have been moving in that direction. And one of the most interesting ones, Annie, is Cuba. Now, we've had false starts with Cuba the last 60 years, but it looks like, Cuba's economy is in such wreckage under communism that they are now opening up a little bit. And what they need in Cuba is libre, a little liberty and a little freedom. And that could come. And that, there's a very famous scene. I think most of your listeners have seen it. In Godfather 2, where Michael Corleone is in Cuba during the when the Castro forces were taking over, and Michael Corleone is in Havana, and he says, these rebels could win. And of course, that's what happened. And then it became for 60 years, it became the time. The place that time forgot. If you go back to Cuba now, you're going to see people driving around cars like they were built in the 1950s because nothing was built there. But now there's a big liberation movement. They're very pro-America. The number one song in Cuba right now is Cuba Libre, which means liberate Cuba. And can you imagine how rich Cuba would be with those beautiful beaches? A well-educated public. If they just moved to free markets, if the communism destroyed that country. By the way, that place that has the most communism now may be New York City.
Oh, yeah, that's so sad to hear. Steve Moore speaking with us right now. We're seeing that other countries are testing the benefits of a more free market system. Why is it that the American Democrat Party has no interest, a waning interest in capitalism, an exploding interest in socialism. Are they being lied to, deceived, or are they just stupid?
Maybe a little bit of all three of those. I mean, it's hard to know. I mean, because the one lesson that we, should have all learned in school was that communism and socialism don't work. This is not heaven on earth. People are guided by their self-interest, and we want to make sure when they're guided by their self-interest, they play by the rules, but also they build great companies, and that's what's happened in America, and that's why we have high employment in this country. But you see Chicago being destroyed by Brandon Johnson, a socialist, and New York City being destroyed by a socialist, and Zoran Mandani, and then the same thing. In Los Angeles, they have these elections coming up, and for the mayor of Los Angeles, and it's like choosing between Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I mean, they're both terrible candidates. Seattle, same thing. And those cities, those great American cities, I don't know what's going on in St. Louis, but so many of our great cities are being ruined by these so-called progressive candidates.
Yeah, in St. Louis, the last mayoral election we had, I think that St. Louis made, of the two Democrats to choose from, the better choice. And Kara Spencer, our mayor here, has been focusing on things I think that are a little bit better for the city. But you'd like to be able to see a city like St. Louis and all these other cities thrive. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like socialists or the policies that tend to lean to the fiscal progressivism. It's not what they're there for.
So, when I worked at the Wall Street Journal, which was about 15, 20 years ago, I was working half-time in Manhattan. And that was right about the time, Annie, that Rudy Giuliani was elected mayor. And, Rudy Giuliani obviously has his faults, but my God, when he was mayor, he fixed that city. You could see day after day after day the improvement in the city. They're just adding police, getting rid of the graffiti, getting rid of the crime, fixing the schools, making sure that there wasn't corruption in the government. And, it just breaks my heart to see here we are, 20 or 30 years later, and they're headed right back in the direction they were before all those reforms took place. So my point is, these cities can be resurrected in a big way. San Francisco now has a pretty good mayor after a terrible mayor, and it's making a comeback. So bad leadership leads to bad cities, but good leadership can really resurrect our cities. And I pray that happens because I love America's big cities, and I want them to succeed.
Yes, they're thirsty for it. They're ready for it. Absolutely. Steve Moore speaking with us right now. I want to cite one of the points, your third point in the hotline that you send out for prosperity to unleash, or Committee to Unleash Prosperity. Yeah. And you're talking about the 8 House seats that are potentially gained in this redistricting wars. And I want to ask you, in the experiment, the idea experiment we can have of a +8 Republican seats come this midterm, what can President Trump do when he's not running for re-election and he has potentially the House and Senate still in those final 2 years of his presidency? What do you want to see, and what do you think that this president will do to continue to push America back to unleashing prosperity for all Americans?
Well, that's a great question. So, I mean, I don't think it's very probable that he has a Republican House and Senate, but he may, and he has a Republican House and Senate. But, history is against him. Usually the party out of power picks up about 20 seats in the House. That's just the normal course of events. But it doesn't always happen. So it could happen. Republicans hold the House and Senate. And let me go back to the point you just made, about the fact that Republicans, because of redistricting, midterm in terms of the decennial, because they always redistrict after the census comes out, because that's, required by the Constitution. But now you have all these states doing it, in the mid-decade, and that's very unusual, and I think it's bad. And I hate gerrymandering. I just hate it. Why should the politicians get to choose who's in which districts? This should be done by computers or independent, nonpartisan bodies that just make sure that these are compact districts. I mean, you've seen the maps of Illinois. My gosh, you've got some districts that go 150 miles long. These people don't even live anywhere near each other. So I hate it. But both parties are playing the game right now, and it turns out the Democrats are losing that game because Republicans could pick up a net 8 seats from the redistricting more than the Democrats will. So that's the current situation. It certainly will help the Republicans in their efforts to save the House, but I don't know if it's
I don't know if it's going to work.
Last question before we let you go. We're speaking with Steve Moore, the co-founder of the Committee for Prosperity. I wanted to give you the opportunity. One of our listeners commented this as well as they were listening and knowing that you were coming on. They wanted to give you the opportunity to talk about Alan Greenspan dying yesterday at the age of 100.
Yeah.
Talk to us about Alan Greenspan's legacy here in the United States.
Well, he was a giant. You know, he took over at the Fed during the Reagan years. He was appointed by Ronald Reagan in, I think, 86 or 87. And then we had, he was a great Fed chairman. I didn't always agree with everything he did, but think about it, the period from like 1987 to 2006 was an incredible period of incredible prosperity. And that was through the end of the Reagan administration and the Bush administration, and then under Bill Clinton, where we had record high stock market, record high, Bill Clinton was a genuine New Democrat. I wish those still existed today. And so what he did was he kept inflation under control. And, under Jerome Powell, who thankfully is gone, inflation went up to 9%. He kept inflation steady and low. He made the dollar as good as gold, and we had great policy at the Fed. And I think, by the way, Kevin Warsh, who is the new Fed chairman, will follow that formula. And, we need to if you want to get interest rates down, this is something that some of my friends at the White House, have ignored, that the best way to bring interest rates down is to bring the inflation rate down, right?
Yeah.
If inflation comes down, Annie, what happens to inflation and interest rates? They come down too. So I'm very bullish. I think the country owes Alan Greenspan a great debt of gratitude for what he did in terms of running it. And by the way, during that period, all these other countries in the world dollarized. What they did was they pegged their currency to the dollar because it was strong and stable currency. And so I think that's exactly what's going to happen under Kevin Warsh. And I'm very optimistic about where the economy is headed. And in the last 2 years of Trump, I think he's going to go for it. He's going to go for the gold. He's going to continue to deregulate, find the waste and fraud in the budget, cut taxes where you've got taxes that are too high, and improve our education system. So this is a guy who knows how to run things, and I think he'll do an amazing job in his last 2.5 years in office.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Steve Moore, for being with us. We appreciate your time. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Steve Moore is the co-founder of the Committee for Prosperity, host of More Money, Moore, and author of The Trump Economic Miracle, Committee to Unleash Prosperity.com. You got any texts on the beautification, the restoration of Washington, D.C. on the Annie Frey Show text line, 314-241-9797. If you want to text us, Ryan, what do you got?
This person says, I love that President Trump is working to beautify Washington. Next person says, the pool is, he's tired of the naysayers. Trump can't walk down the street without somebody complaining about him. Don't understand why the cost to clean and reflect is an issue. So, yeah, quite a few.
Yeah. People are voting as well on the YouTube poll. Go to youtube.com/@AnnieFrey, Frey, and you'll see our YouTube channel there. We'd love to have you come join us, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because every day we go live, you'll get a notification that we're there, and then you'll be able to click on that live broadcast and see where people are chatting all the time, and then you can vote. You can text us your thoughts as well. We love to get your texts on the Annie Frey Show text line. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
You've been told that you need a new heating and cooling system for your home. And if you've gotten prices or you're going to get prices, call me. Try to stay away from the word high efficiency or efficiency. If you replace your system now, and it's 12, 15, or 20 years old, you are greatly improving the efficiency just by replacing the old, inefficient unit. Do not be fooled. If you want a common sense approach and you just want your house cooled, I will help you. If you're good with that, call me. One easy number. It's Missouri and Illinois. The easiest of numbers, 314-293-2600, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I, retirement.com. God bless.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. When we meet our clients for the first time, they have built up a lifetime of savings. Their question is, what can we do with this money so we can live comfortably the rest of our lives? First, we develop a strategy to protect your nest egg from any market losses. Then we build your own personalized structured income plan that will generate you an income the rest of your life. We put you in control of your money.
You've earned it, and it's our job to make sure you enjoy it. Let our team show you how you can have the retirement of your dreams. Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. You will also get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 40 years. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
In a world where the most important thing in the world is the love life of algae reproducing in Washington, D.C., only one hard-hitting news talk team will tackle this scandal. The Annie Frey Show. That's from the text line.
The algae fighters, AF. Yeah.
Right after that, and there's another one addressing us and the algae. So I'm going to read it right away.
Addressing us? Okay.
Yeah, here it says, in a world where scooters are electric, the algae is alive, and state fairs are racist. Oh. And it just stops there.
The Annie Frey Show.
The Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back. What are we doing? Well, Ryan is a little hoarse today, and since he wouldn't whinny like a horse, he's doing movie intros for the show.
So if you send them in,
you got to send a script. I mean, this is how Ryan works. You just kind of like Anchorman. The more work you do for him, the more likely the job is to get done. He takes it that extra 20%. Usually he blows through the finish line and takes it the extra mile.
Right.
But the closer you get him to the finish line, the more crazy he can get it at the end. So if you want to send us some scripts for him to read during the time that he has a horsey voice,
which is probably just today.
You think it's going to be back tomorrow?
No, but maybe.
You took a road trip this weekend.
I took a road trip, and I guess I just talked a lot.
How long were you traveling?
We traveled from Idaho back to here, so it was a total of 28 hours of driving because we couldn't go that fast. It was just we were driving in the dark, and we were driving a truck, so
28 hours.
Yeah,
to Idaho.
Yeah, well, back just one way. Wyoming is a big state.
Is it beautiful?
It is beautiful, but there's nothing really there. And so...
Is it scary?
Well, at night it is because you're kind of in the mountains and some of those one-lane roads. Even the highways,
how big
they're
was the
fixing
truck?
them. 26-foot box truck.
Yeah?
And it was heavy, so we're just moving some work equipment around.
Were there any hijinks or shenanigans on this road trip?
There are, but I can't tell you what they were yet because of insurance.
Oh. There will be some nondescript road trip that happens later. And
later, I'll say,
some
maybe
details.
This was something that happened to me at one point.
Or not. Okay, fair enough. I think everybody understands that. We've got Will Chamberlain coming up at 1:30. So in less than 10 minutes from right now, we're going to speak with Will Chamberlain, who is senior counsel at the Article 3 Project. We're going to talk about the investigation into Gavin Newsom. Have you followed this at all?
Oh, heck yeah. I've been following this really closely, actually.
What do you know? Tell us what you know.
Just that the DOJ is investigating him. He is trying really hard to be out in front of the story. And also, by the way,
I know about this more because Gavin Newsom won't shut up about it.
That's my point, is that he knows something's coming. Because as Axios has reported, this investigation didn't just start just now. Like if
Wait,
it did.
what do you mean it didn't start right now? When did it start?
According to Axios and the sources that they're citing, that's why I'm citing them, because I don't know who they are. That's just them citing sources, that this started a few to several months ago.
Oh, I think it's even further back than that.
And maybe before that.
Here, listen, Tommy Loren reporting
Newsom's
on it.
nonprofit reportedly took cash from a Native American tribe that operates a casino in the state and was backed by her husband, while her other charity reportedly paid her own private film company directly. But the Newsoms, well, they're pushing back.
Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my mean tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president. Because he hates that I've consistently called him out over and over again for his lies and deceit. One by one, anyone who has challenged Donald Trump has ended up on his hit list. And today, I proudly join that list.
Why does he talk like that? But just last month, Newsom's former chief of staff, Dana Williamson, pled guilty to federal fraud charges. Joining us now.
So that's Tommy Loren talking about what's actually going on here, listening to him tell that story on his own. And there's a little bit more here. Here's our friend Joe Concha. Just to, what I was talking about here with Ryan. Did it happen? Did this investigation start a few months ago? Or?
Newsom has been in politics the vast majority of his life. He's been governor. He's been mayor of San Francisco. Everything he's touched turned into you-know-what. Now they're being investigated, and he comes out and he says it's a politically based Trump investigation. Can you explain what they're being investigated for and how ridiculous that is?
Sure. And that statement alone you just reiterated, Mark, saying that this is a Trump-led investigation. This investigation began under the Biden-Harris administration. That's interesting, right? So, no, this isn't even the Trump DOJ. They're just continuing what the Biden and Harris administration started. And basically, it's all about this nonprofit that Jennifer Newsom runs. And she has been able to steer contracts in the direction of certain companies. And then, obviously, being the First Lady of California, there may be a quid pro quo going on here. And it's very telling, by the way. Daily Mail has done an investigation showing that she pays herself well over $1 million to run this nonprofit that does not take in a heck of a lot of money on top of those contracts that they're going out to. So overall, this is not a good look at all for Gavin Newsom.
Our friend Joe Concha there reporting on the investigation into Gavin Newsom, yet another nonprofit that exists to fund the people running the nonprofit. Kind of feel like it's a for-profit.
So that's the first time I've heard how far back that goes, because I've just been reading about it. I did not know it went all the way back into Biden-Harris.
I think there are investigations that began, the way I understand it, surface level, but Will Chamberlain will be with us when we come back, so we'll get the details with him in about 5 minutes from right now. But my understanding is there are investigations that took place that involved the parties that are being investigating right now, and maybe just weren't followed up on, if you can imagine that.
Oh, so they start, like, somebody at the DOJ or FBI started it and then was like,
or maybe came across it and noticed it. Here's the thing. I don't think Gavin Newsom is going to be likable in a national election. I don't think so. I think that Gavin Newsom is central casting for villain in a movie, and he's the type of person that everybody loves to hate. Kamala Harris was as successful as she was, which was not enough, obviously, because she wasn't Trump. There was a strong level of support for Kamala Harris, same for Joe Biden. They weren't Trump. And that was not only enough, that was the point. And the Democrat Party, by virtue, I asked you last week, tell me what would have been a crowning achievement for Kamala Harris if she would have been elected?
Even after a week, I still don't know.
2016 Donald Trump, what would have been a crowning achievement if he would have, if I'm going to get one thing done? Can you think of anything that Donald Trump said in 2016 on the campaign trail? If you elect me, I will
build the wall.
Duh. Yeah. Yes. Build the wall, secure the borders. What? I don't know. Make America great again. Well, how do you want to do that? Well, yeah, this is an entire, you could print it. Point by point understanding of this is how I'd make America great again. And in the process of doing that, there are a lot of policies that if you were on the left, you wouldn't like, because they're small government, usually fiscally conservative, Potentially socially conservative from time to time, but often not socially conservative enough to really persuade social conservative voters to support him. But he made a case. And if you go, I really love 60% of that, I hate 10% of it, and the other 30, I don't think he can do it. Versus Hillary Clinton, who is like a Marvel villain. I mean, that Donald Trump was the benefactor in 2016 of he's not her. The actual opposite of I'm with her. You vote for Trump. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, their claim to fame was that they weren't Trump. And then the Democrat Party, still to this day, I would say, seems to have the goal to set out to find somebody who they can pre-program what the powers that be in the party want to have come to fruition, and they want to be able to be nimble. They need to have somebody who will do what they're told. And then the last two elections, the plan has been, you're not Trump. Just keep it there. Don't commit to anything because we're going to roll with it. We're going to see what we can do. We're going to destroy everything Trump did, everything the Republicans have done. We're going to, probably pack the courts. We're going to do all these things that we can do while we're in there. But all you need to do to get elected is to not be Trump. Kamala Harris, I actually think that a good candidate could have beat Donald Trump the second time by not being Trump. Kamala Harris is that bad. She's that much of a disaster that they're like, we'll try that again. We'll give it another shot. Gavin Newsom not only is super hateable, just by the way he presents himself. He walks in the room and he's like, it's so nice for you all to meet me. He also isn't going to be a pre-programmed kind of guy. He's going to want all the accolades and all the glory. He's not going to be it for them. This could be his crash and burn moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if, like Eric Swalwell in California, if, like Kamala Harris, the Democrat Party turns on him and makes sure that it's not him. And you see, like, an Andy Beshear from Kentucky get the nomination, or maybe Shapiro in Pennsylvania. Somebody who is way, way less, look at me. We'll see how it goes. Will Chamberlain on the Annie Frey Show next. He's going to talk to us about the investigation into Gavin Newsom. When we come back, don't go away. Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan, the opportunity for you to get in a really incredible opportunity with your mortgage with the Bagel Loan. It's special right now, and it's for a limited time. The Bagel Loan with Stewie is a new mortgage or a refinance where you don't pay any closing costs. He covers it for you. But right now, and for a limited time, on a new home purchase with a 30-year loan, you have the opportunity to lock in on that new loan for the first year, a 1% lower interest rate, and still qualify for the Bagel Loan, which means no closing costs. So yes, you're looking for a new home, you're making a new home purchase, you're getting a 30-year loan. For that first year of your new loan, you can lock in a 1% lower interest rate and still qualify for no closing costs. Reach out to Stewie directly on his phone, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. And tell him Annie sent you. I'm a 2-time customer myself of the Bagel Loan. I encourage you to check it out for yourself as well. Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
License number GL2500615.
Hey, Dad, what causes drains to clog?
Grease, hair, soap scum, and tree roots.
Tree roots?
This town has old pipes and big trees. They find each other.
They grow inside pipes?
They bust into pipes.
Whoa.
Once they're in, the water stops flowing.
Can we fix it?
The big green grasser machine can fix any clog.
Green is always grasser at grasserhomeservices.com.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
Freedom has a frequency. 97.1 FM Talk. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's a gloomy Monday out here. It looks like the sun's trying to poke out. Hope you made it through this rainy weekend and storm-ridden weekend. Our thoughts and prayers out to the folks in the eastern part of our listening area in Illinois who are just combating tornadoes all the time. Contact us if you know of people who are experiencing this. We'd love to be there to help them out if possible. I want to get to our guest next here. Will Chamberlain joins us. We were talking about this in the previous segment. Gavin Newsom's finding himself in a little bit of trouble, and he thinks it's just because Donald Trump doesn't like him. Will Chamberlain, senior counsel at the Article 3 Project, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you with us.
Good to be with you.
If you're on the wrong side of Donald Trump, Gavin Newsom says that he will send his minions at the DOJ after him. Is Gavin Newsom, or also, I guess, also his wife, are they actually in some legal peril here?
I mean, it's potentially there. It seems like there's some very interesting conduct going on with their nonprofits in terms of what in particular Newsom's wife has both a nonprofit and a for-profit organization that helps her make films and documentaries. And the IRS, the nonprofits paid her a substantial salary for her behavior. And, you know, it seems like her donors who want to curry favor with the governor find a way of donating to the governor's wife's nonprofit. So there's a number of different tax questions involved. Are they properly, using the nonprofit designation? Are they using the nonprofit to funnel money to the for-profit organization? So lots of interesting things going on there. And I mean, it's unclear at the moment. I mean, there's been no indictment and there's been no charges, but I think, there was somebody who was already indicted for similar conduct. I forget exactly who he was. Mm-hmm. Gavin Williamson, I believe was his name. But he was, Dana Williamson, who's the former Newsom chief of staff. And he was indicted in November 2025 on charges related to funneling money from a dormant campaign account to herself. So perhaps they have somebody who's kind of giving the federal government what they need on the rest of the criminality going on in California.
Yeah, I find it interesting that Gavin Newsom has been very much so on the out front with this. He's been trying to set the narrative on the story and definitely couch the whole investigation into a political hit job from President Trump, because President Trump is threatened by potentially Newsom's run for the presidency himself. Do you feel as though, just kind of more broadly speaking, we can speak specifically about the Newsom investigation, but more broadly, compare notes on the Biden Department of Justice and the Trump Department of Justice? Is it going both ways, a little bit of investigating your political opponents with each Department of Justice? Is this a fair fight right now?
Well, I mean, it's fair in the sense that, the Biden DOJ decided that it would be wise to spend most of their energy going after the next presidential candidate from the Republican Party. And I don't know that that's a great way in which the world should work in the abstract. Like maybe we should be respecting the leaders of each party and not actively investigating them, trying to discover criminality, because it's sort of a way of the party showing respect to one another. But, that box is already open. So turnabout is fair play here. The Democrats have nothing to complain about. They indicted Donald Trump 4 times in 4 different jurisdictions in a little over 4 months. And the only conviction they got was on the most frivolous of all the cases. in New York and in the face of a totally unfair jury, and they can expect similar treatment for their own politicians. And if they don't like it, then they need to come and say kumbaya and bend the knee a little bit and say, this is not the way the world should work. We want the parties to respect one another. But if they're not going to do that, then I don't want the Republicans to unilaterally disarm, because this needs to be in the back of the mind of every Democrat, right? It's already in the back of the mind of every Republican that, like, if you're a prominent Republican in the Trump administration, you're going to risk being indicted. It needs to be in the back of the mind of every Democrat that's also true for them as well. And then maybe they'll realize next time they're in power, like, if maybe we've extended olive branch, the Republicans won't do this to us. That's the kind of thing that needs to be there.
Yeah, I feel as somebody who has supported the Republican Party, been conservative and voted Republican, that oftentimes when you're in certain, I should also add, I'm an Illinois Republican, so we do exist, but we don't really have much of a voice or anybody's ear, I would say. But you just kind of have this atrophy to the way things go. This is what the Democrats do, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. When the Republicans jump in and say, the old phrase, you never wrestle with a pig because you both get dirty and the pig likes it, the Democrats have liked it for a long time. And now Donald Trump has no problem jumping into the mud and trying to actually win the fight for the first time. I don't know how we get out of the pigsty here. I don't know that it will happen. I kind of fear what might have to happen in order to make that be the case. But the Democrats do not seem to know what to do when the Republicans jump in, redistricting or, the gerrymandering game, this type of fraud investigation, using the Department of Justice to uncover things that exist. It seems as though Democrats don't have an answer to it other than to convict in the court of public opinion the Republicans for doing what they wrote the script for themselves.
Yeah, it really will require, it'll have to be after Trump that this happens, right? I think the left is the guy drives the left insane to a degree that they look at what's happening with the reflecting pool. The left is so incapable of just letting the guy be and just letting him achieve anything that it's like, no, we have to literally rip apart the reflecting pool and destroy, first we complained about how much money it took to reseal it. And then we're going to actively go out and destroy the sealant. So we have to spend more money to fix it because God forbid President Trump do anything that works, right? It's cognitive dissonance that a certain segment of the left cannot cope with. And so I feel like that's, until we get past Trump, maybe that'll improve with the next Republican president. Maybe. I wouldn't be so sure. Maybe they'll be relieved that he's not Donald Trump, and so they'll just relax a little bit. But maybe not. Also, I wouldn't rely on the Democrats getting over this. But I hope we eventually get there. And again, to be clear, this is not a criticism of Trump at all. I feel like the Democrats just are totally responsible for their own emotional reaction to Donald Trump. The guy's president, and he's been dominating our politics for a decade. Get over it. Entirely.
And he was the fighter that I would say we as a party needed, but I don't think it can be denied that he's the fighter that the country needed. Where we would be right now while we're negotiating whatever sort of peace deal is taking place in Iran right now, to think about Kamala Harris having the opportunity, or God forbid Joe Biden goes for a second term. The contrast between these two parties, what they both have to offer, is so starkly different. You've seen these polls, I'm sure, but especially younger men in the United States of America are starting to be much more politically outwardly right-leaning. I don't know if they're far right-wing, but just to be able to observe myself as a 42-year-old woman, my son being 16 and noticing that those guys in college, they'll wear a MAGA hat, or they'll be proud. They'll be outward with their pride for America. That's kind of weirdly, trendy and maybe counterculture in a way that I'm very excited to be raising my children in. Do you attribute that also? Is it directly related to President Donald Trump?
Yeah, I think that's true. And you see the stats of how many Democrats are proud to be American. It's a trivial number at this point, something like 25%. Yeah. Which is pathetic. Republicans don't stop being proud to be American just because a Democrat got elected. Get over yourselves. But they can't do it. And I think it's just going to get worse and worse. Also, as the center of the party moves further and further left, and the elites of the party become more and more third worldist, the Zoran Mamdanis of the world. You'll notice when Zoran Mamdani was out there wearing uniforms for the World Cup, he didn't have a United States uniform. He had a New York City uniform. Because God forbid Zoran Mamdani root for the United States, the country he naturalized to and pledged his loyalty to 5 years ago. But no, he can't, because he actually isn't loyal to the country. He's a loyal servant of global communism, basically, or whatever it resembles now. The
Which
DSA
is
label.
diametrically opposed to American greatness. Like, you can't be
Yes.
for both at the same time.
No, you can't. And it's interesting reading the history. I'm reading a good history of communism by a guy named Sean McMeekin, a historian. And, one of the things that is obvious, even in World War I, the way that the whole communist international was a thing at that point, and the whole idea was that you should betray your country. Every communist group in the individual countries who were fighting in World War I was saying, oh, we should betray our country. We should betray our leaders because they're the servants of the bourgeois class or whatever. And so we should mutiny and rebel because our real compatriots are the working class in other countries. And that's like ingrained in it. And it's just like, okay, now we're 100 years later, more than 100 years later, it's still the same stuff that they're doing. Like, they still do the same, instead of like the working class and the focus on the sort of Marxian class analysis, it's this global third worldist loyalty to, the oppressed peoples in other nations. And so it's basically the entire unity of everybody fighting the Jews, basically, would be the current class consciousness of the left.
Yeah.
Totally absurd. And again, totally un-American.
Senior counsel at the Article 3 Project, Will Chamberlain, speaking with us. Just to kind of wrap up this thought here, because I don't see people that want to speak for the left. Those people who are seeking out the opportunity to be elected by Democrats in a party, or people who are pundits, I don't see them out there really championing the idea of American greatness. It's almost like the phrase MAGA has taken the word great and America, and no Democrat can utter them in the same sentence any longer. In fact, your understanding of how horrid this country is like a qualification for you to make it further in the Democratic Party. But how incredibly ironic is it for people who are visiting this country right now for the World Cup, who are coming from foreign countries, who have been so lied to about this country that they almost probably thought that they were really taking an incredible risk to endure the Americans and America in order to come here to cheer on their team, fawning over and loving the simplicity and beauty, like just the natural things about our country that should be celebrated. These are people coming from foreign countries, visiting, they're going to go home, and their biggest message to me seems to be like, hey, Americans, stop whining and complaining. This is awesome. How ironic that foreign visitors are the ones to remind everyday Americans, you got it so great here.
Yeah, I think it is striking, and it's a good reminder of, when all the talk about affordability, we're actually extremely affluent. And we're a lot wealthier than the Europeans now, in terms of, and even, you just look at in Europe, the suburbia is just as cramped as the cities, if not, and they don't recognize us. Like, you actually look at the average house size, it's like half of what we have. They're just a lot less wealthy because their economy is a lot less functional. And it's these socialists and communists look at Europe and are like, no, we need to do that. We all need to be much, much poorer. It's like, no, actually, I kind of like that we're all pretty wealthy here. It makes life pretty easy for the vast majority of Americans. And, obviously there are things to fix, and, we have to worry, there's job concerns in terms of how much we're exporting overseas. But overall, we're a really wealthy country, and, we're dominant technologically. We have all the dominant tech companies. All Europe can do is regulate us and try and tax our companies. That's all they can do. So, it's good to see a reminder that actually our country is really awesome. And, Europeans just being shocked at how affluent we are is a really good reminder of that.
Yeah, I continue to hear them speak of the things that we deal with every day without thinking about them as luxuries here. And you listen to them say that and you think, okay, maybe I could be a little more appreciative about it. But who lied to these people? Where did they get such a consistent message delivered to them about Americans, the people, but also the place? Who contrived such a consistent message that when they come here, they're so shocked at what life really is like in the United States of America?
I think it's their own governments and the sort of liberal cultural elites in our countries, right? Their own governments want to do that to make sure that their people are happy with, degrowth and stagnation. Our liberals want to do that because they don't like our country, so they want to say that America is just crappy and Europe is so much better. And I think Europeans we're used to being tourists to Europe because Europe is sort of it's the origins of Western civilization are all in Europe. So the tourism there is incredible. And in a sense, Europe has just become a theme park for Americans. It's one way to look at the entire continent at this point. But they don't really travel here very much. And I think maybe, one, they can't afford it. Generally, it's a big cost for them relative to their standard of living. And then two, they're sort of snobby about it, and they think, why would I want to go to a crass America? But it's people come here and realize, my gosh, this country is extraordinarily vast, extraordinarily wealthy, full of ambitious and very kind people. It's a much more dynamic place. There's so much space. People, Europeans forget how big America is. And I think we all, in a sense, do sometimes. Like, United States is as big as the entire continent. You can driving across the country is a 3-week trek, as opposed to much smaller countries in Europe that you can drive across in a day. So it's there's a lot to be grateful for our country and a lot to appreciate.
Yeah, it's a blessing that we're able to consume all of this content coming from these people visiting for the World Cup. I couldn't think of it going any better for the United States, really, in retrospect. Thank you, Will, for being with us today. We'll follow this investigation, and if it turns into any charges, we'll have you back soon. Thanks for being with us.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye. Will Chamberlain, Senior Counsel at the Article 3 Project, a wonderful follow on X at Will Chamberlain. Must go follow him there. He's got great takes on all of the latest, especially the legal stuff, but just really good common sense content on his X profile at Will Chamberlain. Article3project.org if you want to learn more about the organization. We're going to break real quick. The YouTube poll, we're asking you, do you support President Trump's restoration and beautification efforts in Washington, D.C.? Yes or no? Back in a minute.
We're here to celebrate America's 250th birthday in 2026. This is 97.1 FM Talk. America 250 is sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hi, Chad Hansen with Hansen's Tree Service. Spring is here, and if your trees are looking sick or if you have insects that aren't welcome in your landscape, Hansen's can help. Our plant healthcare program offers tree and shrub fertilization as well as pest management to maintain a great-looking landscape. Check us out at hansenstree.com.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Just a reminder that Brian Kilmeade is coming to town November 21st at the Factory, and you can find that event at our website, 971talk.com. If you go to 971talk.com/events, actually, you can see anything that's going on at the station or beyond. We have lots of concerts just listed there just because we figured you'd like to see that. So that's all at 971talk.com/events, including the Brian Kilmeade event on the 21st of November, if you want to get tickets. 151, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
You know how to dance to Copperhead Road?
Yeah.
You're just marching in place.
No, I'm not. This is country dancing.
Are you doing something? No. I can't tell if you're trying to do the right dance and you're not, or if you're just getting kind of lucky and being remotely close.
Number 2.
Do you know the Copperhead Road dance?
I didn't know is there a dance to this song?
Heck yeah.
No, I don't know anything. I just kicked my feet around and you're like, yeah, that's really close.
Well, I mean, it is. There's just a certain kick that you're supposed to do. It's a lot of right, left, right, left. Okay. He's going to hurt himself. What'd you eat? Did you just see some sugar?
No, I just ate a sugar-free bar, though, and I really enjoyed it.
Did you? Okay. The YouTube poll for today, do you support President Trump's restoration and beautification efforts in D.C., yes or no? I was asking why we didn't flush the pipes or something while the thing was drained, because the Trump folks were saying, I say the Trump folks, it's basically anybody who feels like we have to win the algae game is like, there was algae in the pipes. And it's now, it'll go away. We've got plumbers who are texting us at our Annie Frey Show text line.
This person says he's not a plumber, but he says, as a pool boy.
Pool boy.
I can tell you that it's incredibly easy to chemically destroy a pool with a relatively small amount of fertilizer. I think that's the conspiracy.
That it's been introduced.
Somebody's put something in there and he's saying, yeah, that's actually pretty easy to do.
It would be. And I mean, have you been to the reflecting pool? You haven't.
No, I've been to D.C. for like half a day for a business meeting. I've never seen anything.
It's huge. Just one person, and it's a public park, so just one person walking by tossing a little something in there would be pretty easy to do.
Mm-hmm. This person says yes, and here's the recipe: drain, flush, repair, flush again, then fill.
That's what I'm thinking. It was a double flush situation.
Did they only do one flush?
I didn't ask. Seemed like the private question.
It was a pretty nasty load, and they needed to do a double flush.
I'm gonna throw up.
He's a plumber, I think.
Good enough for us.
Yeah, we'll just assume. He didn't say
I'm a plumber too, I think. Only when necessary. 314-241-9797. The question that we're asking on the poll is, do you support President Trump's restoration and beautification efforts in D.C.? Is this an appropriate use of taxpayer dollars in your mind, Ryan?
I don't know. I'm kind of split on it.
I'm not. I think it's okay. Have you seen some of the fountains, the pictures of the fountains that they've restored? Do you remember when the Democrats were just graffitiing the hell out of that city? And all the cities, toppling statues, breaking things, spraying filthy nonsense all over everything. Did we use any taxpayer dollars to clean that ish up? I think we did.
Yes.
So why can we only use, it's a protesting is part of our First Amendment rights. So you're going to let people act like fools and throw little hissy fits that in many cases the Democrat Party started, instigated, funded. And then we got to clean that stuff up. Now the president goes out and says, actually, this is a work of art. This should be beautiful. Let's make it beautiful again. And he does. And then people are like, I'm sorry, Democrats. I don't really care what you think about usage of tax dollars. You have lost terra firma on this topic of conversation. You can't come wagging your finger in the face of Donald Trump for that reason. Maybe there are certain areas where you just have a completely different policy standpoint. You got a different perspective on life. Okay, fine. But like taxpayer dollar concern to the teeny tiny, how many decimal spaces, post decimal space is this in percentage wise compared to things that the Democrats have spent money to like fix a fountain, to fix the reflecting pool?
Yeah. Other question though, but why isn't this just an ongoing thing? Why isn't there ongoing maintenance?
Why does it have to get to complete disrepair? Yeah. And then Trump's like, maybe we should make the fountain work.
And then he does it, and it's like mostly better, but not all the way. And people are like, this is a freaking failure.
And all the Democrats are like, oh gosh, how dare he? How dare you? How is she doing these days?
She's getting up there in age.
Is it Greta?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pivoted topics.
She's probably mad that the world's still here. We'll be right back.
upgrade that backyard so you can enjoy it for the rest of this summer, call Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Mark Cox here. I'm telling you, they have a mission to be the very best when it comes to customer service and quality craftsmanship. They've been around since 1968. That tells you something. The same families owned this business all those years. Of course, they offer fences and decks, but they also do much more. Sunrooms, screen rooms, patios. They can do retaining walls. You mention it, and they can take care of what's going on in your backyard. Their project consultants will come out. They'll do free in-home estimates, no obligation at all, free project design. They've also got a great digital photo gallery of completed projects so you can look at what other people are doing and maybe get some inspiration. How about that? Reach out to them today. Mention my name. They're going to give you 20% off your next outdoor project. Check them out at chesterfieldfence.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
With summer here and the kids home full time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Gentlemen, Mark Cox here. When's the last time you actually felt like yourself? Victory Men's Health specializes in hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, and longevity. It's built for everyday men who just want to feel better and perform their best. They already have offices in Town and Country, Sunset Hills, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. They're about to open a new location in Glen Carbon very soon. It's a higher standard of care just waiting for you. Learn more at victorymenshealth.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Talking. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Vice President J.D. Vance reporting progress as he left Switzerland after lengthy talks with Iranian officials.
We left a lot of our team. The Iranians left a lot of their team at the resort there to keep on working at it. So all in all, a very productive 36 hours. We're going to have to keep working it.
Vance says Iran has agreed to let UN nuclear inspectors back into the country, but that actions, not words, are what's important, adding that money for Iran will not be unfrozen without continued progress. Iran says the first real test of negotiations is to end the fighting in Lebanon, where Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah have a new ceasefire in effect. A federal judge is blocking the Trump administration's effort to target state officials in Minnesota, including the governor, accusing them of obstructing immigration enforcement operations. A ruling unsealed today accuses the Justice Department of failing to justify subpoenas and aiming to retaliate against state officials for failing to assist the federal government with enforcing civil immigration law. He launched or revitalized many superstar careers. Clive Davis has died, once called the man with the golden ears, who won 5 Grammys as a producer.
He started out as a 28-year-old lawyer at Columbia Records with 0 music experience. But over the next 6 decades, he found several record companies known for throwing these elaborate Grammy parties, attracting an eclectic group of people from music, politics, and business. He signed Whitney Houston at age 19.
Fox's William Lajeunesse. Davis helping to turn others into stars, including Rod Stewart, Carlos Santana, Alicia Keys, Billy Joel, and Bruce Springsteen. Clive Davis was 94. A family statement says to them, the music icon was dad and granddaddy, the steady presence at the center of our lives. History made it the World Cup as Lionel Messi scores a record 17th goal, giving the defending champs Argentina a 1-0 lead over Austria, and he just scored another one. America is listening to Fox News.
Please be advised. You may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone. Because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Thanks to our cool front of yesterday, the northwest flow is back. It's a little breezy. It's 78 for the high with a mix of clouds and sunshine, though the emphasis going on more and more sun. Nice evening, partly cloudy skies, 62 for the overnight low. Tuesday, sunny and nice, 81. Wednesday, sunny and 84 degrees. Nothing more than a pop thunderstorm Wednesday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. And be ready for the first heat wave. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For the sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back. We're asking you about how you feel about President Trump's efforts to restore and beautify Washington, D.C. And I went there in 24, and then I think I went there again in the summer of 24 with my husband. And I would really love to go back and see and notice and go to the places that you see a lot of folks say, I've never been able to go here before. And now I actually can. And people are loving that part of being able to visit their nation's capital. I think that it's the least that the government can do is to make a place that's safe and stunning. People travel to Europe all the time to go see the architecture and the art and the history. We have a ton of that in Washington, D.C. And if it's trashed, then what does that say about our country? I think it says a lot. So the Washington, the mall, the reflecting pool, it's been quite the subject of controversy as President Trump looked to repair it and restore it, and now it's
people, including a former U.S. Olympian, have now been arrested for allegedly vandalizing the newly renovated reflecting pool in the nation's capital.
Kevin Cork joins us now from the White House with all the latest on this. Kevin, good morning.
Yeah, frankly, and good morning to all of you. This is a sad story because all Americans, I don't care about your political stripes, enjoy the reflecting pool. But as Charlie points out, we're talking about someone who's gone from competing in Olympic-sized swimming pools to being accused of vandalizing the reflecting pool along the mall. And, of course, he ends up in cuffs. And apparently he's not the only one. We're speaking of a former Olympian canoeist, 67-year-old David Hearn, three-time Olympian, by the way, said he was cycling by the monument on Friday. He noticed a piece of the pool's underliner floating in the water, but authorities, they didn't buy his story at all. And now they're accusing him of being one of several individuals of trying to sabotage the project, with a pair of arrests being made so far. In fact, the president said as much in a post on Truth Social, announcing, quote, many additional people have been arrested having to do with the disgraceful vandalism of our beautiful reflecting pool. What these terrible vandals have done is a true affront to both Presidents George Washington and Abraham Lincoln and should be dealt with accordingly. They also poured corrosive and destructive chemicals into the pool. Finally, he adds this. We are very proud of what we have done with this magnificent structure, and we'll get it repaired quickly to an equal level of beauty. Now, the pool, which had been restored to a beautiful cerulean as part of the America 250 celebration, spent years mired in an algae-covered state until the big cleanup. But suddenly we started reading reports of a new algae bloom forming and the peeling lower coating. Critics said it was a shoddy job done by the contractors. Turns out that's not true at all, and now we know why. Now, the cleanup of this $14 million project is ongoing, even at this very hour, but given the fact that the 4th of July is right around the corner, to get it ready, they're going to have to work around the clock, guys.
So Kevin Corke kind of given the lay of the land there, and We've talked about this throughout the course of this show, but I don't understand, other than it's just so accessible, and maybe it's just the ease of the ability to do it, why somebody would hate this man so much. Because all of this is an action towards Trump. It doesn't actually have to do with the reflecting pool. It doesn't have to do with the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial. I find it interesting and poignant that President Trump would say, this is offensive to Washington and Lincoln's legacy, that you would take this kind of action. A lot of times I think that what President Trump puts out on True Social is kind of petty and catty, and it's just how he works, and I'm not going to change it so I don't lose sleep over it. But that's actually, to me, a really good point, that memorial and that reflecting pool and that entire area, which is right adjacent to the World War II memorial and the Korean War memorial and Vietnam, the wall is there. This place should be something where people who hate Donald Trump should be able to go and be connected to our country's heritage, that you would think in the shadow of Abraham Lincoln, who sits in the Lincoln Memorial and stares straight down the reflecting pool to the Washington Monument, you'd think that a liberal would be able to stand there and go, this is still here and this is important. But they're like, no, I hate Trump. I got to ruin it. And they just do something dumb and then they feel good about it. How does this end?
There's a faction of people in this country that are so unsettled and probably unstable, mentally unstable, that they want to kill him. They want to kill him, and they try. And but there's lots of other people who see that and they go, oh, I saw what they did to the people who tried, and I don't want to end up like that. So I'm looking for something else that I can do to kind of satiate my soul. What's representative of Trump? Well, right now, for whatever reason, it's the reflecting pool. So I'm going to go sabotage that thing, and then I'll feel a little bit better about myself. But it's been other things, like I said at the beginning of the show. It was, for a while, it was, it was Teslas, Oh, man. Or they'll find a building that's, this is now the site. We're going to burn it down. We're going to protest here.
I was thinking about this going into the last break, and I wanted to ask you guys, I was thinking about asking you off air so you could think about it a little bit, but I want to get your natural reaction to it. I would think that it is very possible that there is a Donald Trump statue at some point. I don't think it will be. I think we'll probably be old people. Mm-hmm. Brad and me, you're already there.
I'll be super, super old by then. I'm going to live to 150.
Okay. I feel like the there's no way to know, but I do believe that there will be a statue of Donald Trump somewhere someday. Maybe it'll be in Florida
at Mar-a-Lago.
Well, I mean, it is library. That's going to be paid for by CBS. I feel like it's not out of the realm of possibility that there will be a statue of Donald Trump somewhere to be seen. It's not going to be the size of Lincoln. Sorry, President Trump. It's not going to be,
We presume.
He's going to have the Trump Memorial, and it's just going to be a little bit taller than the Washington Memorial, but it's going to say Trump all the way down it or something like that. But I would imagine that there is going to be some sort of acknowledgement of President Trump in the long haul. But I wonder, A, how much time is going to need to pass before you could assemble something like that, erect something like that, and not have it be vandalized all the time? And secondly, I'm wondering if you were going to put it in Washington, D.C., where would you put it? Would it have to be, I mean, I don't know. He's going to create the arc. It's an archway, but I think it's referred to as an arc, A-R-C, right? The Triumph Arc. Have you seen this?
No, I don't know anything about this.
Okay, I'll Google it and put it up here so we can show people and you can explain what you see. But he's like, all the historical places have one and they're beautiful and we should have one here. And he's got it sitting. Here it is. We're going to go with Wikipedia. I'll share this. But I think, at least the last time I saw it, he has the model of what he wants to have built in D.C. on his desk in the Oval Office. But he wants the United States Triumphal Arch.
Oh, yeah.
It's a triumphal arch proposed by Trump in 2025 that would be located on Columbia Island in D.C. The 250-foot tall, that's huge, arch would celebrate the 250th anniversary of American independence. I mean, it's not like Donald Trump is standing atop this thing with his flowing copper hair or something like that. It's an arch, as you would. I see this and I think it looks very European.
Yeah, it does.
But he's like, they have one, we should have one, and ours should be bigger and better, which is the American version of everything European, essentially. He said the site is Memorial Circle, a traffic circle on Memorial Drive between the end of the Arlington Memorial Bridge and Arlington National Cemetery. It's directly across the Potomac River from the Lincoln Memorial at the west end of the National Mall. Surveying work started in mid-May of 2026. The arch has been referred to by some media as the Arc de Trump, a play on Arc de Triumph, or however you say that, in whatever language that is. You got a problem with building something like this?
No, not really. It's got two eagles on the top of it between what looks like maybe an angel or a Lady Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty. Let's see here if it gives On October 15, 2025, Trump showed reporters in the Oval Office a model sitting on his desk of a proposed arch that he wished to build. CBS reporter Ed O'Keefe asked him, "Who is it for?" Trump replied, "Me. It's going to be beautiful."
He could have easily just said the people, but he didn't.
But listen, this is under a category on Wikipedia called development. And the second sentence that Wikipedia is like, here's what you need to know. It's CBS's Ed O'Keefe asking Donald Trump a pointed question where Trump's like, I'll see your pointed question and I'll give you exactly what you don't want me to say. You put him on the spot because you're trying to get that clip that's going to make the lefties go crazy. But then what do? They share the video. They share the video. They share the video. They share the article. So then you get your sound bite, you get your quote, and then you run with it. And Trump's like, "Oh, I'll give you a quote." Who's it for? Me. So silly.
I'm surprised to see this because the ballroom to me is going to be the biggest legacy he leaves on, like, at least changing the properties.
But seriously, though, these are not things. I know that President Trump, according to this quote here on Wikipedia from Ed O'Keefe at CBS, I know he's saying it's for him, but he likes to build great things. Going into the presidency, this is what Trump actually does. He went to the presidency. He put his name in the hat for the presidency because everybody else was screwing it up in his mind so incredibly much. And he knew that Hillary Clinton would be a disaster for the country. And he knows a thing or two about the business that needs to be done by an American president. And he thought he could do it. He certainly did a pretty good job considering what he was up against the first time around. But these are the types of things. His eyeballs go to structure and growth. And this is how his brain works. This is what he comes into this office as an expert. So it doesn't surprise me at all that he isn't setting this part of himself aside. And, what other president is going to come in there? Barack Obama, what was he good at? I guess community organizing. So what did he do? He organized half of the country to come together to say, you know what? Basically, the way the United States is, it kind of sucks, and it deserves to be fundamentally transformed. His words, not mine, which he reiterated at the Presidential Library opening last week. He talked about fundamental problems with our founding fathers. His legacy at the Obama Presidential Library is a continuation of his commitment to fundamentally transform the United States of America. So he brought community organizing to the White House, and he sure took that out for a stroll as often as he possibly could. I think it's pretty natural to look at President Trump and say what he's doing with these different types of build projects, these structures, these improvements is just how his brain thinks. It's not like he got there and said, oh, I want to spend all these taxpayer dollars as much as I can while I'm here. Because listen, folks, when politicians get into office and they start spending taxpayer dollars like drunken sailors, no offense to the sailors, it's usually Gavin Newsom is what he's being investigated for. It usually just makes its way around the merry-go-round until it comes right back in one way, shape, or form to the person who gets to make those decisions. It's usually a little bit of a payback in the end. President Trump is getting a lot of these things privately funded, and he just wants it to look fantastic. He wants to make America look great again, and he's starting with Washington, D.C. It would almost be disappointing if he left the presidency and he didn't make it look better when he left. It'd be like, man, this is what you do. And you got all these wealthy friends.
And he always brags about getting it at a better deal than he should have.
Yeah.
Which even if the project does go a little bit over budget, not all of them do, but some do. His point is, I'm trying really hard to save money, even on these things. It won't impact the budget, but I'm trying.
Yeah. I mean, good grief. Go back right now on the commercial break. Here's what I want you to do. Google total cost of the Obamacare website, and then come back and complain to me that Donald Trump is out there trying to restore the beauty and safety and security of our nation's capital, where you have the world leaders all across the globe coming here to meet President Trump, and they got to drive through the slums of D.C. Well, not anymore. Now, go look and see what Obama, unless you know in your head already what that number is. If you don't, I want you to go Google how much did the Obamacare website cost, and then we'll come back and we'll chat about who's spending the taxpayer dollars money wisely. We'll be right back.
Mark Cox here for my friends at Zero Res. Summer is finally here. It's time to take advantage of Zero Res's best deal of the summer. They can handle every surface in your home. The carpets, the tile and grout, the upholstery and rugs, your air ducts and more. And right now you need to reach out to them because, listen, vacuuming is not enough to maintain the cleanliness and the lifespan of your carpet. Go to Zero Res, 314-474-2020, and ask for the 97.1 special.
When you're learning something new, experience matters. At Lifestyles Unlimited, we've spent over 30 years teaching people how real estate investing works and how to build income with a clear, step-by-step strategy. Our program is designed to help you learn what to do, why it works, and how to take action at your own pace. Join today for just $297, a 60% savings off the regular price. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Imagine this, a summer evening, relaxing under a beautiful porch overhang, hosting your friends on a composite deck, or enjoying a bug-free breeze in a screened room. That sounds dreamy, right? Hi, it's Kim, and that dream can be your reality with Lakeside Renovation and Design because they specialize in creating outdoor spaces that make your backyard the go-to spot for family and friends. And with their attention to detail and the high-quality materials they use, you'll have a space that lasts for years. Visit lakesideRD.com today to get started on your outdoor oasis.
Every child deserves the chance to learn, grow, and dream. But for many students, barriers like hunger, lack of resources, and limited opportunities can stand in the way. The Little Bit Foundation helps to break down barriers to learning for under-resourced students through programs and partnerships that support the whole child. From basic needs and health services to educational enrichment and career exploration, it helps students thrive in school and beyond. Visit thelittlebitfoundation.org to find out how you can support their mission. This message brought to you by Together Credit Union.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. This segment of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by All Financial.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We've been taking your text messages and suggestions on the Annie Frey Show text line on today's YouTube live chat poll. Do you support President Trump's restoration and beautification efforts in Washington, D.C.? You got more that you wanted to read here? Are you ready for that?
There are more. Let me sift through here.
Jeannie said on our YouTube channel, of course, I support beautifying our Washington, D.C. Who in God's name wouldn't? Rick was talking about the reflecting pool. He said they just need to be able to flush the reflecting pool a bit more frequently or unleash the tidy bowl man on it. I actually thought after I read that comment, before I read it on the air, that Trump should just get a sponsor. Like, just paint on the bottom of it, like squeegee bowl or whatever it is. And
Tostitos.
Make it glow in the dark so it shows at night when it's really clean or something like that, like a little incentive. No? Yes, possibly. Chris said, yes, it represents the United States. It would be like huge corporations and their headquarters is a dump in a bad neighborhood. You wouldn't want that. Andy says, no need for the ballroom or arch or his planned golf course renovations. That just sounds like an opinion, but not really an explained one. Andy, tell us more. You probably did. What do you got?
This person just says, the reflecting pool is just more proof that all progressives do is destroy.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like a really broad brush of paint, but I'm trying to think of a way to
how do you say,
disprove it. And I'm like,
but
I don't really know.
Okay, let's say not all progressives destroy everything, but the people destroying everything are mostly progressives.
Yeah. Will Chamberlain said in our conversation at 1:30, we're talking about Gavin Newsom and the investigation going into there, and how it might be a turnabout's fair play kind of a situation. I mean, if they find out that Mrs. Gavin Newsom is involved in some sort of fraud, if that's exposed, and if the investigation started under the Biden administration, I'm not sure what the Trump administration is supposed to, or the DOJ, Trump DOJ, I should say, what they're supposed to do. Hands off because he's a leading Democrat?
Yeah, that's tough. Because no matter what they do, it's going to be political in nature because it's politicians.
The question is, how do we get off the merry-go-round?
Yeah.
How, and Will said this, and I agree with it, it has to be post-Donald Trump. Donald Trump is too much, his magnetic energy is too strong, and the people who he tracks the most are the ones who hate him the most. A lot of us are out here just kind of living our lives and dipping our toe, and I hear a lot of people talk to me lately about, like, you know, what's it like to cover the news all the time? And they always talk about this kind of apathy that they have towards it right now. Oh, I'll pay attention when the election's happening and I need to know about the candidates or whatever. But I feel like a lot of people on the right, a lot of people who, like you, are listening right now, sitting in your office or your kitchen or driving in your car, you don't want to tune in to our show or to the news or whatever so you can find out what's going to get your heart pumping a little bit faster, what's going to get your adrenaline moving through your body more. Especially if economically speaking, I think a lot of people want prices to come down. And I've heard people say this, and I think it's probably pretty true. I don't think prices are going to come down. You're going to have, maybe gas prices come down. So that might, maybe some grocery prices can come down too. So maybe it can happen. But on the whole, when prices go sky high like they did during COVID, it's not like there's going to be a time where things cost what they cost before COVID. The idea is that now that all this money has been pumped into our economy through all this printing and handing out of stimulus and all that stuff, once all that money floods the system, now you got to figure out how we can get more money into your checking account to cover for the increase in gas prices or grocery prices or whatever it might be. I think that's what people worry about. And when they tune in to hear that the Republicans and the Democrats are doing a slap fight instead of addressing those things, it just makes them want to go, oh my God, I just can't. I think that's probably where we are right now. And when it lends to being a midterm year and knowing that, according to the Unleash Prosperity hotline that I was talking to Steve Moore about at 105, you can check on the podcast, there's a net plus of 8 red seats. I'm actually saying right now, I think the Republicans are going to gain in the House.
No kidding.
I actually think that they are.
Ooh-wee.
I know.
That's bold.
I don't know that it's going to be big. That's what I think right now. Well, could I change that opinion? Maybe 77 times before the midterms get here. But I don't think the Republicans are going to lose in the Senate. I think that with the redistricting that has taken place, in the places that it's taken place, I just think that the Democrats are not making the case that they have a better way. And it really all hinges on how President Trump wraps up the perception of what's going on in Iran. And if gas prices are down $1, if you go from Memorial Day to July 4th, which is what we're going to do, if it continues to go this way, people might notice gas prices being down $1, maybe $1.50. They're going to notice that by their July 4th holiday, maybe their July, early August vacations, that those gas prices have come down. If they stay down, again, 70, however many times back and forth that I'll go, if gas prices are down and 401ks, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I look at my 401k, I'm like, holy smokes, that's not for nothing. That means a lot to people. So the money that's coming in, you compare it to the price of gas, the price of groceries. There are very big positives that are taking place right now that are overshadowed when you have to pay $5 to put gas in your car per gallon. If that goes away and the left is out there trying to make the case for choosing something else by vandalizing the reflecting pool, I don't think that wins. I just don't. It's not going poorly in the ways that people who supported this president or pushed back against, not your run-of-the-mill Democrats, but the crazy leftist progressive nut jobs that have captured the Democrat Party. That's the message of the Democrat Party. That's the message of the people who are trying to tell you, down with Trump. I don't think the Trump hate contingent has increased that much. As you always mention, it's super strong. It is as steady as she goes. But I don't think the people who are kind of on the fence or are super Trump fatigued are not looking at the Democrat Party going, yeah, we'll give them a shot. That's not happening. They're not making the case anywhere.
They're not at all. And we've talked
Graham
about
Plattner?
that. The tough thing about right now in any election season, going into midterms or going into a presidential election, is at this moment, you are comparing usually the presidential candidate, but really any candidate, against perfection. Somebody who's in office, you're comparing them against your ideal and perfection. Once you get into election season, you are comparing that person against a person. And then all of a sudden, things start to even out a little bit. And so that's what's going to happen. Donald Trump won't literally be on the ballot in the midterms, but he kind of will be.
But I think he is, because it's the last time he is.
Yeah.
When J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, other people I'm trying to think of that maybe would like to make a run for president, I think I put Sarah's name out there. When those people are out there advocating for what happens in 2028, there is going to have to be, and I don't know if it'll happen, but a Trump-blessed new America First, fresh America First. I think back to Marco Rubio's 2016 primary campaign, which I was a huge supporter of. He would talk about a new American century, and he always said it like that, a new American century. That's really what we need. It's like Donald Trump was the wrecking ball who had to come in and destroy everything, expose everything, all the dirt, all the nasty, all the algae, and say, we're not doing it like this anymore. And I'm going to make it so it can't be done like this anymore. Then somebody else has to come in and say, all right, let's build something new and fresh and hopeful, something that's going to last a sturdy house that's going to last the test of time generationally to make sure this country is not going to go back to the way the Democrats and then the lazy Republicans allowed it to get. Which is, I just think I feel good about the midterms. And you know me, I'm always the optimist.
Well, if you decide that you want to change your mind 77 times,
Mm-hmm.
I will forgive you 7 times 77 times, as I have been commanded.
By Brad.
Whoa.
All right, let's take a quick break here. We'll be right back. More Annie Frey Show around the corner. Don't go away. The Retirement Advisory Group, reach out to Bob and Tammy Kershaw and talk to them about retirement. When you're moving into the retirement zone, you've been working for decades, maybe shifted careers a few times in the midst of what you're doing right now, but you're ready. You're ready for it to be done, or you're ready to be ready. Does that sound weird? Maybe to people who are like me, who are, in the thick of it right now. When you get to your late 50s, 60s, maybe you like what you do, but you just you want your time back. That's where the Retirement Advisory Group comes in and helps you during that transition. You got to make some smart moves, and you got to not miss the opportunity to get it done right. When you call 314-993-9494, you're going to connect yourself to Bob and Tammy Kershaw at the Retirement Advisory Group, and you're going to be in very, very caring, good hands. They're going to help you make that transition. Make all the smart moves. Don't leave any T uncrossed, any I undotted. They're there to help guide you through this whole process. So if you're nearing retirement and you're ready to protect your retirement, you want the Retirement Advisory Group. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
Are you looking for a podcast about pro football that doesn't put you to sleep with an avalanche of analytics or insult your fandom with brainless hot takes? Well, hi. I'm Dan Hansis.
And I'm Mark Sessler.
Oh, hi, Mark. And we're the hosts of Heed the Call, the NFL podcast you've been waiting your whole life for.
Heed the Call covers every game, every storyline, everything that matters, and we do it all with a touch of mirth.
Football is fun. Why shouldn't your football podcast be the same?
Follow and listen to Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
You can vote on this question and comment by looking up Annie Frey on YouTube and seeing the page where we are live right now. It's the YouTube live chat poll. The question is, do you support President Trump's restoration and beautification efforts in Washington, D.C.? Yes or no? So you can vote there, comment there, or you can comment only on the text line 314-241-9797. This person just texted in and says, these monuments reflect our country's character and should be kept perfect as long as we are America. What do you think? Let us know, and we are looking for your comments throughout the show. Although we only have about 20 minutes left, so get your comments in. 2:35 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. From Festus to Freeburg, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. So this weekend I had baseball. Oh my gosh, this was the busiest weekend ever. I think by the time I went and sat down Saturday night, it was probably Sunday. No, it was Sunday afternoon, Father's Day. I sat down and I looked at my husband and I go, I think I've been standing for 3 straight days. Friday, we had a graduation party for my daughter and her cousin, my nephew, because they're the same age and they're going to high school. So it's just kind of fun get together as they go into high school. And so we were off that day for Juneteenth. I started setting up for that party at around 12:30 because everything was pretty much outdoors. And it went till 10 something. And I just was on my feet talking to people the whole time. Great experience. A lot of kids there and a lot of adults because it was a joint party. So there's just a lot of people who showed up. But I was just kind of walking around, entertaining, so on and so forth. And then Saturday, we had our Schumacher Scramble, the family reunion that we do every year, which is a golf get-together. And we play golf. And we have golfers in our family, but it's encouraged. Everybody come play. It's for the social experience. So that was in the morning. And my son had a baseball game Friday night, 3 baseball games on Saturday, and then another one on Sunday. And then so Sunday, Father's Day, my husband told me, he's like, I got the opportunity. He started umpiring again. And he's like, I got asked if I want to umpire some games on Sunday. And I said, well, Jared, it's Father's Day. So don't feel any obligation whatsoever to do it. But if that's what you want to do on Father's Day, feel completely permissed to go do that, enjoy it, and whatever. So he ended up going to do that. I took my son to his baseball game, caught in the rain, and my folding chair or whatever, I don't know, I guess it's a bag chair. Somebody out there make a good chair for baseball people. Probably soccer people. I don't know.
It doesn't cost $150.
I mean, I'd pay $80 for it if it were great. Stop it with the bags. The bags don't work. There's got to be something better.
And also, if you make a great chair, don't make it super heavy. You got to walk a long way with those things.
But it's got to be strong.
It's got to be strong.
And be able to handle you and your 5-year-old who wants to sit on your lap in the dead of summer when you're sweaty. That's got to happen. It's got to have a good cup holder.
I'm looking at you. Trust the science, people.
Yeah. Make it happen.
Yeah.
I put that chair in my car last night, and it had been soaking wet because it was sitting out in the rain. And it did not come out of my car last night. And neither did my son's baseball bag.
Oh, yeah.
So a shout out to the moms and dads out there who had your son or daughter's softball, baseball bag in your car overnight where it was still wet when you took it out. Pour one out for you. You could do the same for me. What a terrible smell. Wet towel smell.
Yeah.
What do you do for that? I mean, I drove until I got on the highway this morning. I have spray deodorant in my car. I have dry shampoo in my car. I was just spraying stuff, had the windows open. My chair smelled just as bad as the baseball stuff.
There are some things you can do in a car to just Febreze it and it'll go away. But, I mean, you got to use a lot of it. There are some things that will not go away. I don't know about that one. I know that we spilled gas in my trunk one time.
Ooh.
And I think it was while I was on the show, we talked about it. I could not get that smell out.
Vomit.
It took forever.
Have you ever tried vomit? Just kidding.
To get rid of the gas?
To get rid of the gas
Yeah.
smell. Yeah, and then it'll just smell like vomit. You won't smell the gas anymore. I've talked about having to get that out of the car from a kid that couldn't make it home. It was just... that wet towel smell is so gross. Or if you get, you're probably past this. Are you past finding stuff, your kids' food, drinks that your kids left in your car?
No.
It's so terrible. Yeah, I drive a minivan. You drive a sedan for the most part.
Well, I have just a regular 5-seat car and a SUV. So they ride in the SUV more.
When you've got toddlers and they've got sippy cups and stuff like that, you get in your car and all of a sudden you're like, and then you have to stop what you're doing and you have to unpack the whole sucker.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get worse every block you drive.
Oh, yeah. Look, that'll happen now with chicken tenders.
Oh.
You're on your way to something.
Have you ever found something in the back of your car, Ryan, that one of your children left, and have you ever eaten it?
Yes. It was in a package, though. It was unopened.
What was it?
It would be like an unopened Twinkie or fruit snacks or something. You know, they always, now it's a big thing after a sporting event. Everybody gets treats. Somebody brings all the fun stuff at the end for whatever reason. I don't know why there's a thing, but it is. And so sometimes they'll bring that in the car and forget that it's there, and then Dad gets it.
Have you ever eaten anything that was open, exposed? His eyes are closed. He's lifted his nose to the sky, and has a deep sense of regret on his face. He's covering his mouth because he looks like he's about to retch.
No.
Okay. Good.
I don't think I have. It's possible.
Oh gosh, it's that age of, I don't know, what would you say, like 9 months to probably about 4 is when kids just start leaving little surprises behind for you to find, to discover, first with your nose and then with rage. Afterwards, you just got to throw that whole cup away. That cup that's got chunky milk in it now, it's just got to go. You don't even want to see that cup again.
That's facts.
You're like, I will spend the $4 for the new sippy cup to replace this because this is gone.
We've moved fully in the Wiggins household over to lunch bento boxes.
Yeah.
Because you can put it all in there. Though they're not quite big enough to get everything usually, but we do it anyway. And the reason for that is that if it sits for somewhere for a long time, you can just throw it away.
Have you ever tried? I've seen people do that with tackle boxes.
Tackle box?
Yes, because they have little sections for everything. People will do that to go to like Disney World.
No,
it's like a poor man's bento box.
No. And these are disposable bento boxes too.
Yeah.
They're not.
I didn't know they were just.
Oh yeah, they sell. It's like just a little Tupperware container, so you can reuse them. But then if they do get smelly, that's gone.
Is milk? What's the worst thing to find spoiled? Milk? Is there a worse thing?
No, it's
milk?
Meat.
Oh.
But here's the thing. This is why I advocate so much for processed foods. That if you have processed foods, they're not going to rot the same way as the good RFK stuff. So you get the processed foods for your little kids. Then they can throw it all over the place, and you don't care.
Oh man!
Can we go back to talking about the chairs? Somebody just sent me a Renetto canopy chair.
Oh, that's nice.
Getting recommendations from you folks on the Facebook page. They got a Father's Day special going on. There's a certain. It's funny to watch. I'm on the other end of youth baseball and baseball culture, and I feel like a weathered veteran at this point. And there's like you got to have a bog bag. Do you know what a bog bag is?
No.
Google it, and BOGG bag, and you'll see one, and I bet you're like, oh, okay. They look like Crocs, but bags.
Oh, that's a brand.
Yeah.
I thought that was a type of everybody's got a bog bag now.
Well, there's a lot of bags that you can get that look like bog bags that
Okay.
aren't bog bags that probably cost less than half.
Holy smokes! A bog bag is $100, and it's just a plastic bag.
It's like you can bring your Louis to work with you, but then when you go to the baseball field, you bring your bog.
Oh my gosh. How do you come up with a brand and go, okay, this is like Crocs?
They're ugly.
These are just plastic shoes.
I think they look.
Yeah, but I'm going to charge $200 for them.
They're functional looking because I feel like they could get wet and it's not going to ruin the bag, and they keep their form and stuff like that. But I'm always like, does it need to cost that much?
No, it's like a $10 bag.
Yeah, you can. The type of chair, I think is GCI Outdoors. Is that the chair? Is that the good chair, or is that the Walmart version of it?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that.
GCI Outdoor. This is the chair, man. Yeah. GCI Outdoor Freestyle Rocker Folding Sport Chair with rocking motion. $80 Instacart. Yeah, you can get these at Dick's. But you can get ones that have higher backs. I had one of those. But, I mean, the bag for the chair lasts 3 games.
Yeah,
and it frays and it breaks. And then I have to give myself a pep talk every time I want to put that chair in the bag. And most of the time, I'm just like, forget it.
Just skip it. It's worthless. Get something else. That's why they make the new ones with like a little tie on it or a Velcro. It's like an umbrella.
There's other ones that fold up from the middle on the seat. You fold them up, and then the 2 handles have the 2 armrests have 2 handles, and you just carry it like that.
Yes.
So it's flat for easy storage in your car, but it doesn't fold up. It's not in this like little narrow column. I think that if I quit my job here, it will because I have solved the baseball chair problem and I have become a bazillionaire, because that market is still asking for better.
It needs to not blow away when it's windy.
Yeah.
Somehow repel water somewhat. It doesn't have to be fully water repellent, but somewhat.
Breathable.
Has a cup holder. It doesn't have to have a lot, just a cup holder.
A place to put your drink.
And it can't be too heavy to carry long distances when you're walking way out to fields.
Especially if you have to carry 2 or 3.
Exactly.
And the one that I have right now is from Walmart, and I bought it when we went to a game, and I just got sick and tired of the one I had, and we put it in the trash at Walmart. But it's got the seat on it is woven onto the structure, the frame of the chair with a little bit of elastic. So it has a little bit of a give in it. It doesn't rock or anything, but I do like that. And it's got a breathable back and front, which makes it a little cooler and dry easier.
I've gone all the way back now.
The transport is the biggest problem.
This is such a huge problem. I've gone all the way back to the old 80s aluminum chairs.
There's nothing wrong with those.
Just those things that are
with the vinyl
so light.
weave on
They're
the
starting
pretty
to
colors.
fray a little bit. They're getting old, but they work. And I got 2 of them.
Man, you could get love seats in these baseball chairs. You can get ones that have canopies, like the one that was just sent to me by Lori and
Johnny on the spot.
One with toilets.
Well, they're pretty much isolated.
That must be a soccer thing. We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. If you have a foundation concern at your home, I have the number for you to reach out and talk to Matt Hayes and the team at Home Shield Foundation Repair to see what they can do to help you fix it. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. Home Shield Foundation Repair is ready to take that phone call and help you with whatever your concern is. It could be water in your basement. You want it waterproofed. Go with the folks at Home Shield Foundation Repair and read the reviews that they have online. People championing the service that they provide. They're great people as well. Also, if you have an unsettled foundation settling that has caused cracking in the walls in your home, Home Shield Foundation Repair can help you with their peering services as well. 314-271-9900. 314-271-9900. Online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
You know, I always have a great time when I visit you guys, and I'm coming back this November. So join me, Brian Kilmeade, by getting tickets for the show at The Factory at 971talk.com/events.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
Did you have a good Father's Day?
Well, no, because I was just traveling still, so we didn't really get to do anything. We're gonna go out tonight with my mother-in-law and have some dinner. So it's sort of a delayed reaction.
What about you, Brad? What'd you guys do for Father's Day?
We went over to my dad's house on Saturday, and we hung out there, and he grilled stuff, and
what's Dad grill?
This was burgers and brats, but I mean, he'll grill almost anything: steaks, pork steaks,
Squirrel, rabbit.
Yeah, if you got it, he'll grill it.
Grill it if you got it. Yeah. That's an apron right there.
That is.
There's your $1 billion.
That's right.
I'm not asking this like jokingly. I'm asking because I genuinely don't know. Do you grill?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. Could you grill? Are you like a Chuck Schumer, put the cheese on the raw meat kind of guy?
I could maybe do it with a gas grill. I'm not. I can't do it like my dad does with charcoal. He's the master, and I've just been like, you know what? That's your territory. I'm gonna let you have it. I'm not gonna go after it.
What about for your family?
My family can just eat charcoal if they want to.
Charcoal?
Because that's what they'd get if I tried.
That'll clear their stomach out. What's the craziest thing you've ever eaten off of a grill? Is there anything that you can think of that someone grilled that you? I mean, like some people. My husband will put sweet potatoes on the grill, and it's super.
Oh, okay.
Corn on the cob, that's another thing.
That's good.
People will do frozen pizza, throw it on the grill. I've
That's
never had
popular
that,
now.
but
That is
I
popular.
imagine it would be crispy and yummy. Are there any crazy things that you guys had on the grill that people should know? Pineapple?
Oh yeah, and this one is consistent from Bob Wiggins. He does full tops of portobello mushrooms covered in Andrea sauce on the grill. They are close to steaks. I mean, they're really good if you do them right. And I don't like mushrooms either, but that completely changed my mind.
They should make medicine for that. What do you eat off the grill?
Well, I was gonna say, like we've mentioned everything weird that we've grilled: pineapples, mushrooms. I've had mushrooms. We've smoked them. What else have we've smoked?
Smoke them if you got them.
Yeah, we've smoked desserts before, and that turned out really good, like an apple pie. But you use the smoker, and it gets a good flavor to it, and just all sorts. I mean, if you can cook it inside on an oven, you can do it outside on the grill, and maybe you have to put it in a cast iron pan or something like that. But you can pretty much cook anything on the grill because it's just a heat
Is there
source.
anything else that we haven't mentioned that you?
No, we've pretty much done. Yeah, that's what we've done. We wait until we see it. And
Jared
then we try
will
it.
dice up sweet potatoes, cubed sweet potatoes, and just put them in a boat of some little butter, little brown sugar. Sometimes he doesn't even put that stuff in it. And just while he's making all the meat, he'll have a big aluminum foil boat of diced sweet potatoes. And
Oh yeah.
Oh, those are so good.
Boat them if you got them.
Boat them if you got them.
Cube them if you got them. I do want to read.
2 more minutes.
There's one text that has come through today that I've been waiting to read, but we've just never gotten around to it because it's an important topic that I think does need to be addressed. Now, this is when
The more he talks, the more you know he's full of crap.
this is when people were suggesting things for me to read in my very deep voice because I have a little bit of a hoarse voice today. So here we go. It's supposed to be a promo for the show.
Okay.
All right. AFS always hits the tough topics, like Brad hits houses on a golf course.
Thanks, Joe.
Is that inside
Now that
information?
needed to be addressed. Apparently, somebody's saying that they.
Did you hit a house?
Yeah. I assume
Okay.
there were
What do you mean
houses.
you assume?
Well, I lost it behind the trees, but the only thing behind the trees was a subdivision in a neighborhood.
Did you hear it?
No, I didn't. So maybe it hit the street and didn't hit a house
The
or whatever.
street? Oh, so it's
Legacy Golf Club out there in Granite City.
Oh, that's an easy one
So,
to hit
so there's
houses.
like a row of houses, then a street, and then a row of houses that run parallel to the hole. And I hooked it bad.
Do you have to apologize to anybody? You want
Nobody-
to offer a public apology right now?
No, because I don't know that I hit it. So and I looked at the solar panels on the roofs of those houses, which I don't know why you would put those on your house.
Ooh, man.
I was not the first person to hit a house there. Oh my gosh, it looked like they were in a hailstorm.
Scoot said grilled peaches are good on a grill. I bet that tastes yummy. Like a big, thick slice of peach.
Oh man,
Let's
that
do
probably
that.
is good. Scooter, just send those over.
You can eat. I trust Scooter to feed us
I
for
do too.
sure.
Just send them, man.
Brad.
Although it's in the mail, they won't taste as good.
as good. You'd still eat it, though. You eat out of the backseat of your car from leftovers from your kids for the days
That's
old.
implied.
Brad, do you support President Trump's restoration and beautification efforts in D.C.?
1,000%.
Ryan?
Yes, under any president.
Yeah. Like, let's just maintain our home, our capital. 94% of you say yes. 6%
say no.
They're not there for it.
Come on.
I'm just glad you 6% are here, and I hope you stay. We appreciate you.
Sponsored by LendSeek.
If you want a raise at work, you have to make the case for yourself.
No one's going to necessarily volunteer to give you a raise.
Jason Wachtel, managing partner of J.W. Michaels & Company, says you should request a meeting and then come prepared with a list of your wins.
Save the company money, made the company money.
What you say is as important as how you say it.
You have to be prepared. You got to be confident.
I'm Rob Hart.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI